Test.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Today is October 30th, 2025, and this is a regular session of the Unified Government Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas full Board of Commissioners meeting that includes the planning and zoning portion. Before I call the meeting to order, I want to announce that some commissioner staff and the public are attending remotely via Zoom, by phone, or they're also on site. All participants joining by phone, I ask that you please mute your phone at this time to avoid any background noise when you're not speaking. During the meeting, please make sure that you announce yourself by name and title every time you speak, or if appropriate, your city of residence. And this is critical given the number of remote participants and its current guidance from the Kansas Attorney General's office. Also, if you're allowed to speak, make sure that you speak at an audible level into the mic clearly so that your comments can be captured for record by our clerk. Also, I have to remind everyone that there is a expectation for decorum in this chamber, and that any disruptive comments or behaviors or any disorderly conduct is strictly prohibited. I'll now call this meeting to order. Clerk, can you announce the meeting and roll call, please?
Roll call. Burns,
Here.
Ramirez,
Here.
Hill. We have an absence memo. Kane,
Here.
Lopez,
Here.
Stites,
Here.
Davis,
Here.
Bynum,
Here.
Burrows,
Here.
Townsend,
Here.
Garner.
Here. Thank you, clerk. I ask everyone, please stand at this time. And I'd ask for Pastor Stella Ruiz to come forward. She's with Oak Grove Christian Church. She's going to give our invocation this evening, and then immediately after that will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
Shall we pray? Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Gracious Creator, we gather here this evening, humbly seeking your guidance and your wisdom. Grant our leaders and community clarity of thought and understanding as they embark on this meeting. Help them to listen to one another and make decisions that align with your will and bring forth positive outcomes. Lead them in the right direction and bless their time of discussion. In your sacred name we pray. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Pastor Ruiz, for that invocation. It's greatly appreciated. Clerk, are there any revisions to tonight's agenda?
There are no revisions.
Okay, that takes us to the mayor's agenda. We have several items on the mayor's agenda. And this takes us right back to what we've been trying to do this year is recognize a lot of those unsung heroes, businesses that have really positively contributed to Wyandotte County, and those individuals that have made a profound positive impact in making Wyandotte County a great and safe place to live, work, and raise a family. And so it's my honor to recognize these individuals, businesses, and stakeholders, those individuals that love and call Wyandotte County home. And so I'm going to turn it over to my chief of staff, Irene Cadillo, and she will take it from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, Commissioners, and County Administrator Irene Caudillo, Chief of Staff to Mayor Garner. How appropriate tonight's folks that we are going to celebrate, because we all know that healthcare is the foundation of a thriving community. In Wyandotte County, our hospitals, FQHCs are lookalikes, and clinics commit to compassionate care, providing high-quality services in our community. These institutions not only heal the sick and comfort families, but they also drive community well-being through preventive care, education, and advocacy. The staff within our healthcare system work tirelessly, often beyond the walls of their facilities, to address health disparities, promote equity, and respond to the evolving needs of our residents. So today, it's about the healthcare institutions, not just for the care they deliver, but for the hope that they inspire. We'll start with Mercy and Truth. Founded in 1995, Mercy and Truth provides preventive and primary care guided by the love of Jesus, providing compassionate, high-quality health care to underserved populations of Johnson and Wyandotte counties in Kansas. What began as a single clinic with a global vision has grown into 2 thriving community health centers that serve thousands of patients each year. As a federally qualified healthcare lookalike, Mercy and Truth delivers culturally competent primary care, behavioral health services, and access to affordable medications through its on-site 501c3 pharmacy partner. In 2024 alone, nearly 5,000 patients received care across 18,000 visits, with more than half being uninsured and the remainder relying on Medicaid, Medicare, or private insurance. Each patient represents life touched and a community strengthened through Christ-centered, compassionate care. Over the past nearly 3 decades, Mercy and Truth, in collaboration with local hospitals, churches, and community organizations, has earned a reputation as a trusted pillar of support for those who need it most. Through their dedication of their providers, staff, volunteers, and donors, they continue to restore dignity, bring healing, and offer hope to countless individuals and families. Please join me in congratulating Mercy and Truth Healthcare Ministries as a DOT Proud honoree.
I'll be brief. Just want to say on behalf of Mercy and Truth, I just want to thank you very much for this recognition and your partnership. And we're just proud to be in this county and do what we do. So thank you for what you do.
Providence Medical Center has been in Kansas City, Kansas for over a century. Founded by the Sisters of Charity of Leavenworth, the original Providence Hospital opened its doors on December 27th, 1920 at 18th and Torome, which is the current site of Donley College. From the beginning, the hospital was built on a mission of service, offering programs and care designed to meet the evolving needs of our community. As the population grew, so did Providence, expanding capacity in 1946, and in the 1970s took a bold step forward by merging with St. Margaret Hospital, creating the Providence St. Margaret Health Center under the affiliation of the Archdiocese. This move allowed for the development of a modern campus at 89th and Parallel Parkway, where the hospital continues to serve the community today. In 2013, Providence joined Prime Healthcare, further enhancing its ability to deliver high-quality, patient-centered care. Today, Providence Medical Center is a full-service hospital known for clinical excellence and award-winning patient care and services across the region, with family care clinics in Kansas City, Bonner Springs, Baser, and Leavenworth. They are rooted in our history and are driven by innovation. Please join me in honoring them with a DOT Proud recognition. Providence Medical Center.
On behalf of Providence Medical Center, thank you very much. We are honored.
Founded in 1969 as a Model Cities Health Corporation under President Johnson's Model Cities program, Swope Health began as a small clinic in a basement of the Metropolitan Missionary Baptist Church on Linwood Boulevard in Kansas City, Missouri. Today, it stands as a federally qualified health center and certified community behavioral health center, providing comprehensive primary care, dental, and behavioral health services to more than 54,000 patients annually across 23 locations in Missouri and Kansas. Recognized as a patient-centered medical home by the National Committee for Quality Assurance and accredited by both the Commission on Accreditation of Rehabilitation Facilities and the Joint Commission, Swope Health remains dedicated to improving community wellness through accessible, integrated, and equitable care. In Wyandotte County, Swope's health, the roots run very deep. The organization merged with Douglas Community Health Center in 1995, opened the Brown Avenue Clinic in 2000, Swope Health Wyandotte in 2005, and Swope Health West in 2020. Looking ahead, Swope Health will expand its impact with the Swope Health Women's and Children's Center opening in 2026 as a part of the Kansas City, Kansas Community Education, Health, and Wellness Center in partnership with the Kansas City, Kansas Community College and Community America right here in our downtown. Swope Health provides care regardless of patients' ability to pay, serving the uninsured, underinsured, and unhoused, and proudly serves as the official healthcare partner of the Kansas City Monarchs. Please join me in honoring Swope Health with a Dot Proud recognition.
Good evening, Commissioners. Swope Health has been in the Wyandotte community for 40+ years, and we are honored to continue to serve. Thank you.
The University of Kansas Health System is the region's premier academic health system, providing a full range of care through more than 150 hospitals and clinic locations across the Kansas City metro area. It includes the University of Kansas Physicians, the region's largest multi-specialty physicians group, and is affiliated with the University of Kansas Schools of Medicine, Nursing, and Health Professions, supporting leading-edge research and education. Tracing its roots back to 1906, when Dr. Simeon Bell donated land and resources to establish a hospital serving both the Kansas City, Kansas community and the KU School of Medicine. The health system has grown into a nationally ranked academic medical center and a symbol of innovation, compassion, and excellent patient care. Today, it is home to the region's only Level 1 trauma center, a nationally verified burn center, and one of the country's leading transplant programs. Its cancer program is part of the University of Kansas Cancer Center, one of just 57 National Center Institutes designated comprehensive cancer centers. The health system has actually appeared on U.S. News and World Report's Best Hospital list every year since 2007. But beyond its main campus, the University of Kansas Health System remains deeply committed to Wyandotte County through its investments like the Strawberry Hill Behavioral Health Campus, the Cambridge Health Expansion, and the upcoming Cancer Center Complex, enhancing access to care, creating jobs, and driving community revitalization. Please join me in honoring the University of Kansas Health System for their Dot Proud recognition.
On behalf of the University of Kansas Health System, thank you very much for the recognition. We are very proud to call Wyandotte County home, our original home and the largest footprint in our growing health system. So thank you for the recognition.
Last but definitely not least, my friend Patrick. Vibrant Health has been a vital part of Wyandotte County community for 35 years. Founded in 1990 as Turner House Children's Clinic by a group of volunteer physicians, the organization began with the mission to provide quality health care to uninsured children and mothers in Kansas City, Kansas. In 2018, Turner House merged with Silver City Health Center and KU Pediatrics Clinic, forming what is now Vibrant Health, uniting community-based care throughout Wyandotte County. In 2019, Vibrant Health was designated as a federally qualified health center, a milestone that significantly expanded access to care for underserved populations. Vibrant Health has evolved from a pediatric-focused clinic serving 5,000 children to a comprehensive community health center caring for more than 20,000 patients annually. Today, they offer a wide range of integrated services, including adult primary care, women's health, dental care, behavioral health, pediatric care, pharmacy service, and community outreach. Many Vibrant Health patients live at or below federal poverty level, and about 1/3 are uninsured. Regardless of the ability to pay, every patient receives high-quality, compassionate, and culturally sensitive care. Their mission is to reduce health disparities and to increase access to care for the most vulnerable members of our community. And with locations across Wyandotte County and strong partnerships throughout the region, Vibrant is building healthier individuals and stronger communities. Please join me in congratulating Vibrant Health Dot Proud honoree.
Thank you all for the recognition. We have a really passionate and talented staff and a group of volunteer board members that are really committed to this community, and we're honored to get this recognition. Thank you.
At large.
I apologize. I'm sorry. All right. Of course, I get my professional license. All right.
See your beautiful faces. Oh, okay, ready? Gotcha. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next, thank you. Let's give them another round of applause. Those are all our healthcare providers here. Yes. I really wanted to highlight our ecosystem of strong healthcare providers here in Wyandotte County. So those that didn't know, now you should know that Wyandotte County does have a strong network of healthcare providers that service everything from those most in need, homeless, to those needing critical care, transplants, cancer treatment. You can find all those types of dedicated healthcare options and providers right here in Wyandotte County. And so we're glad to have them. And it was more of an honor for me to recognize them for the continued work on enhancing and improving the quality of life of our residents here, not just in Wyandotte County, but beyond as well. So thank you. The next item is the recognition of the Environmental Services Team for their outstanding achievements. The department recently received 4 Peak Performance Awards from the National Association of Clean Water Agencies, honoring excellence in wastewater treatment and permit compliance. In addition, 6 members of the Environmental Services Construction Team recently competed in the, now I don't know what that means, but I'm sure they'll tell me, Apwa Metro Area Rodeo, finishing strong against other cities across the metro, which is something that we all can be proud of. I'll ask the director, Mr. Jeff Miles of Environmental Services, to come forward and speak about these recognitions and share with us some words reference to these accomplishments.
All right, good evening. Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners, Administration. Troy Shaw's in the back of the room, Director of Public Works, and Bridget Cobbins that helped arrange this as well. I'm Jeff Miles. I'm the Director of Environmental Services. And I could say this is probably one of my favorite part of my job being a public servant is recognizing great work within this government. To my left here is Caressa Anderson. She's Environmental Compliance Manager. And then I want to acknowledge, of course, our team that's sitting behind us right now that all came in attendance, as well as some that had kid duty tonight and watching from home as well. So we're going to celebrate 2 accomplishments tonight, or recognize the team, I should say. The first is NACWA Awards, which I'm going to let Caressa speak to here in a second. And then I'm going to touch on that APWA rodeo that's that the guys went and competed in. If you haven't heard of the APWA rodeo, that is a regional competition. It's its 37th year here in the metro area. It's a competition that includes snowplow, front-end loader, skid steer, mini excavator, and a mechanic skills test, along with a written test that go along all with them. They combine the scores and they compete against others. The purpose of the rodeo is to really build on best practices in the industry, competition, and safety. With over 23 cities competing, including Olathe, Lee Summit, Topeka, Shawnee, Johnson County, Independence, and many more. Environmental Services sent 6 team members to compete for our very first time competing against all these other municipalities. We competed in the Mini X as well as the skid steer. Our team competed against over 180 competitors in each competition. Although it's something to be proud of just being out there competing against the best of the best in the metro area, we did have 2 finishes that we wanted to highlight tonight. The first one is Alex Taylor. He finished 6th out of 180 competitors overall for his very first time. And Jack Baska finished 3rd place overall out of there. Top 3 was awarded with this nice trophy that we're going to display back in Environmental Services, along with a couple certificates on the wall that we put right where the employees, team members come into our new facility, the new campus there, to remind we're here to do greatness every single day. With that, I'm going to hand it off to Caressa Anderson. She's going to talk about the NACO Awards. And when I introduce her here as well, she's a 25-year veteran of the Unified Government. So we're really proud of her as well.
Good evening, everyone. As Jeff mentioned, my name is Cressa Anderson, the Environmental Compliance Manager for Environmental Services. Tonight, it is my honor to present the NACO Awards for the 2024 calendar year. NACWA stands for National Association of Clean Water Agencies. This award is a testament of years of dedication, passion, and excellence in the operation, management, and treatment of the treatment plant facilities. Our recipients have not only set a high standard in this profession, but have also made remarkable contributions in helping keep the waterways clean in our community. Please join me in celebrating the distinguished honor of the recipients of the Platinum Awards. To put this into perspective, this recognition represents 5 consecutive years of perfect performance with 0 violations, which is no small feat in our industry. Tonight, the Call Point Treatment Plant, led by Gary Everhart, Vernon Schuler, and their exceptional team, is being honored for the 9th consecutive year. That's nearly a decade of flawless compliance. What makes this achievement even more remarkable is that Call Point was built in 1968 and is still operating with much of that original infrastructure and technology. While the world around it has advanced in modern automation and digital control, this plant continues to meet 21st century environmental standards with mid-20th century equipment. Strategically located where the Kansas and Missouri rivers meet, Call Point has stood guard at one of the most important confluences in the Midwest, protecting 2 great rivers, our community, and generations of families who depend on them. Secondly, let's recognize Treatment Plant 14, led by Nick Parks, Brandon Pinniger, and their exceptional team for also receiving the Platinum Award for its 7th consecutive year. Congratulations to both treatment plants. This award is distinct and requires 5 years of perfection, which is an extraordinary accomplishment and next level dedication. Lastly, we're also excited to announce the recipients of the Silver Awards. Treatment Plant 3, led by Nick Parks and Brandon Pinniger, and Walcott Treatment Plant, led by Nancy Laughlin. To earn this honor, the treatment plant must be in complete and consistent permit compliance during the calendar year. All of these awards wouldn't be possible without a full team effort, including collections, safety, maintenance, engineering, environmental, lab, admin, and asset management. Before we further applaud the achievements, I ask that everyone from ES please stand up. Let's applaud all of these achievements for all 4 treatment plants have made by discriminating their dedication, commitment, and hard work over the years. Thank you.
You need to come up and come up to the podium. We're going to have your picture taken with the commission. I apologize, but if I could have the 4 of you move. And Commissioner, if you would come with the rest of the commission, you would, that way I have it centered. If you could just move over, I recognize the name, but they mainly see your faces anyway. Yeah, I want you to stand up, yeah. And Bridget is coming up, right? I have to have Bridget in the picture because she's there. Me. All right. Yeah. No, I want you I want you on the platform. Yeah. You have to be on the platform. There's so many of you, I gotta group you up. Okay? Thank you, man. Yeah. All right. And, where's Steve? Hey, Stevie, come. That way, if I mess up, you can take pictures.
We'll get several.
Yeah. The last gentleman by Commissioner. Yeah. And then see if you can make a second row. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, I have everybody. Everybody got this one in the picture? All right. 2, 3, and everybody get their picture. One more. Got it? You got it? Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
That's what I was telling.
Thank you.
All right, let's give them another round of applause. You know, these are the individuals that are really, you don't see them in these chambers a lot. You really don't see them anywhere other than if you go out to where they're working. But the job they do is really critical to keeping this city functioning and running in the way that our residents and our taxpayers come to expect. And so we really appreciate these well-deserved recognition as awards for some of our most hardworking staff here at the Unified Government. And it's well-deserved and hard-earned. And I can say that just from what I've seen visiting with some of them. That takes us to the next item on the mayor's agenda. It's a presentation from the beautification, or I like to say blight and beautification cleanup team consisting of staff members from building, logistics, parks and recreation, and public works street department. I'll ask Mr. David Johnson to open up the remarks and he can introduce those key stakeholders.
Thank you, Mayor. About a year ago, discussion between you, Mayor, and the commission focused on what was happening on the streets and how our community looked. And you put a challenge to our staff. What can be done to help beautify our community, pick up the trash from illegal dumpers, and again, make all citizens proud of where they live? Under the guidance of John Kelly, our Director of Building and Logistics, his team came together with our other two departments, Public Works and with Parks and Recreation, to put together a program that has been instituted a couple months ago, which they'll talk about today, that led to many, many good efforts to hit problem spots in our community, but it's only a start, starting with, excuse me, illegal dumping at various sites around our community. I will go into vegetative control and things like that come the spring. So with that, I'm going to turn the microphone to Rocky, and you can continue. Thank you, Rocky.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, Administration, for having us tonight. I know I'm usually in front of you regarding Memorial Hall, but I'm over this too. So as you said, you guys put John Kelly in charge of this, and he has entrusted me with this presentation tonight. I'm the one who gets to gather all of the information together and send it out to you guys and the updates that we've done. So kind of the goal that we came up with, just improving the quality and appearance of our community through targeted cleanup efforts that reflect pride and establish sustainable maintenance practices. I think it's kind of been put to the wayside for several years now. Our community is not looking like it should, and we're just kind of putting our heads together to see what can we do to make this better. So our actions, number one, we focused on reduce and clean up illegal dumping. And I will tell you that since we started this on September the 8th, that is all we have done. With the 3 different teams of Buildings and Logistics, Parks and Rec, and Public Works, we have done nothing but clean up illegal dumping every week since then. And I know police sent me stuff last week and they had like maybe 10 illegal dumping spots. They didn't know about the additional 40 that I gave them this week. So, so we have teams assigned to clean high visibility hazardous dump sites. We are coordinated with Public Works and PD for surveillance and signage. The next step, which we will start on Monday, is the maintain and improve the public right-of-way areas. So we're going to enhance the appearance and safety of our corridors by cleaning, maintaining guardrails, sidewalks, and vegetation. I will tell you, 1 out of the 3 teams will be revisiting all of the illegal dumping sites. 2 out of the 3 will be working on the maintenance, the right-of-ways, the guardrails. So our Monday team collaboration, it's Buildings and Logistics, Parks and Rec, and the Public Works Street Department. Buildings and Logistics, so the abatement team moved under Buildings and Logistics earlier this year. So that is the team we're using, but it's not just that. So I tend to steal the carpenters or the laborers or something sometimes to go out on runs with them or runs with me or run a dump truck for us out to the dump. And these beautiful reports, I send these to Rodney every week. So he sends these over to you, kind of keeping track of where we are, where we sit, how much work we did for that week. And the cleanup details. I wanted to tell a picture with stories. A story with pictures. And we take pictures at every site we go to. It's horrific. It's horrible looking. So I wanted you guys to really look at these and see what we come across. So when I did this report, I did have 7 Mondays of cleanups. This past Monday made it number 8. The first 2 weeks, we kind of had a minimum crew because Parks and Rec and Public Works had a prior engagement with their snow rodeo and getting ready for the snow season. So 8 Mondays of cleanups, but only 7 of those is in this report. Every Monday, we have 11 to 14 team members working out there, picking up the illegal dumping. So far since September the 8th, we have taken 105 dump truck loads to Waste Management. We have taken 10 loads of brush to our areas that we take it to. And we've had, I think after Friday, we probably hit the 1,000 mark for the number of tires that we've picked up in the area. Most of that was kind of in one spot. It looked like somebody just went in and dumped all that at once. So what we've done so far, we've cleaned 50 different sites. And 7 of those sites, we have cleaned up multiple times. The one on, you guys know, K32 Call Drive, that is our most famous one. We've cleaned that one up 7 times in these weeks. If you look on the map, it's hard, kind of a little hard to see there, but all of those little blue areas are all the areas that we've hit. So the biggest illegal dumping areas, of course, is on the east side, kind of northeast usually. That big one of K7, K32 in the middle, a couple down south. We have done a couple community cleanups. April 22nd, we had our Earth Day cleanup. June 13th, we had a District 1 cleanup, and Commissioner Townsend was there with us, right alongside of us, picking up the trash in her area too. Did have one scheduled for last Friday. It got rescheduled again for this Wednesday, and thanks to all of this wonderful rain, we had to cancel it again. So we're looking, as soon as I can get done with the mayor's Christmas tree lighting, that I can reschedule another one, as long as the weather cooperates with us. Like I said, on Monday, we're going to start on these public right-of-way. So I know this coming Monday, I have a team assigned to kind of some side streets up north, and then Kansas Avenue. I did send an email to the commission, and I believe we have hit every spot that whatever commissioner sent me, we have hit every spot for illegal dumping. So now those who sent me their areas for the weeds and stuff, I'm going off of the commissioner's list first. And then we're going to work on everything else that we kind of see throughout the areas. We will begin heavy focus on the weeds in the spring and stuff in the spring. We'll do what we can now, but the spring is probably going to be the best for us. And kind of future steps on where to go with this. More signage. We definitely need more signage because there are more dumping areas that have not been dumped at before. There's no signs anywhere. You would think it would be common sense just to say, you can't dump your trash here, but I think we need the signage so that we can properly prosecute when we can. And the next one is cameras. We have been in talks with KCKPD, BPU, and you guys gave us $100,000 for the cameras next year. So as soon as we get that money, we're going to put those cameras into place. We already have a plan of where those should go. And they're quite expensive, but we're looking forward to it. They're going to be tied to the real-time crime lab so that they can see it live. If put it at the beginning, put it at the end, they go in with the load, they come out with nothing, you're going to know that they dumped. So, and that is our presentation. Do you guys have any questions?
Thank you, Commissioner Bynum.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you to you and the team for everything. You do so much, and now you're doing this as well. So I'd kind of like to know a little bit more about who all are on these teams, please.
Absolutely. So on our team, of course, is our abatement team. Like I said, I'll steal people from the shop or whatever. I actually stole some caretakers one day. We went out, we went out on foot to Douglas Avenue. Commissioner Burrows is very familiar with this one. Douglas Avenue between 40th and 45th. We went out on foot and just got the little trash that was there after the big dumping cleanup. So, I mean, I'll take a caretaker, anybody. Got our wonderful partners with Parks and Rec back here because they're being recognized tonight. So these amazing people back here have been great. They send out probably the most out of all of us. They send out probably 6 to 8 of their team. They've got those dump trucks just going all the time. And then we have our Public Works Street Department. So Troy's here. So we have a Public Works Street Department who's also working on this.
Thank you. The current fines, I saw a slide that said up to 2,500. My opinion only, I think it should be doubled, tripled, quadrupled.
We would agree with you.
ASAP. And I realize that sometimes catching the illegal dumping is very difficult. I live on a street that has regular illegal dumping. But gosh darn, I would really like to see, I mean, personally, quadruple would be satisfactory for me. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I agree. This is to our administrator and council. If you all can work on getting something to Commissioner Bynum's standing committee with her recommendation for triple punitive fines for these, that would be great, as well as any other things that you can find from other cities that maybe they may be doing as far as ordinances that deal with this issue for them to consider. That would be great. If we can fast track that, that would even be better. Thank you. Commissioner Lopez.
I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thanks.
You know,
Appreciate
showing
it.
the work. I ordered cameras and they came in, off my commissioner's pay and, our money. And so I was able to buy 20 of these. They're pretty cool. They come with a cell service and there's a 360 degrees on the camera. It spins around and then it has two-way audio. And then, once your app it shows up a picture, then it's really cool because you can actually live stream and it's pretty slick. So I've been talking to John Kelly about this to get this. We're trying to, this is all new technology to us. So we're trying to get it hammered out or figured out. And, so it's made by Reveal Tacticam, trail cam, but, once there's motion, it just goes boom right to our apps. So that's, that way we can get them in a timely manner before, the big cameras come in so we can jump on this now and not, because otherwise, you know what I mean? So awesome. But you guys are doing phenomenal. And I got these for the illegal dumping and for parks too and different things too. So,
Thank
thank
you. Yeah, we will have, I'll have John work with you, continue to work with you and work with PD to see how those can work.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Ramirez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Rocky, for all your hard work on this. This is
Not just me, it's this
it's
team.
everybody.
It's this team.
It's everybody. And I really like the reports that we get every week, just to see the hard work that you guys are doing and the breakdown and that detailed information. It's really important for us to know so that we can do a better job of spreading that information out to our community as well. And I like the cleanups. I was out with Jeff and Diana this a couple months ago for my district cleanup. And so it shows that the community comes out too for that.
Absolutely.
And so thank you for all your guys' hard work. I really, really appreciate it.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Actually, when I go out to the illegal dump sites and kind of look them over before the team goes out there, and multiple people just approach me and just were telling me, thank you. Thank you for taking care of this. Thank you for caring. So it's out there. People are seeing it. And I was like, if you see something, speak up. This can end and we're doing this and people can see us. Come pick it up and maybe they'll say, oh crap, they're watching us. Maybe we shouldn't dump there because they're coming back out and cleaning that again. We're hoping that that's the case.
Thank you, Commissioner Ramirez. Commissioner Burns.
Thank you, Rocky and John, Public Works, and the other departments involved. I've seen a difference, especially on K32. It's amazing how they dump there. And I hope when we get these cameras up, and you say they're going to be live, that they can get a good picture of their license plate.
Yes, they have license plates readers in them.
Okay.
That's what makes them.
I think that's going to make a big difference, and I think our law enforcement people need to get a hold of those and go to those people and prosecute them to the fullest. The word will get out.
And, in our meeting with PD that we had with community policing, they were so excited to be able to do this because they said these kind of cameras can make the job so much easier in not having to sit there and watch hours and hours of footage. And they were just excited. Everybody was on board with this.
All of you made a big difference, and I can't thank you enough.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'd have to just mirror that of Commissioner, all the commissioners that spoke so far. You know, one of the jobs of the mayor is, you know, I highlight, people know, I don't shy away from highlighting all our challenges here at the Unified Government, but I also like to, as you know, promote all the positives. But when people come into this town and they destroy our city because they think this is a dumping ground for trash and other refuse, that's unacceptable to me. And I hope anybody that's watching, and we need to spread the word, Wyandotte County is not going to be the armpit for dumping anywhere in our county any longer. This commission is taking it seriously. Our staff is taking it seriously. And we are committed to prosecuting anybody within our authority, our law enforcement authorities, to the fullest extent of the law if you're caught. So I caution anybody moving forward doing that. We are pressing forward with making this a real issue here. Because one thing I like to do as the mayor, one of my jobs is to promote Wyandotte County. And this being a great and safe place to live and work and raise a family, but perception is a reality. And shame on anybody that comes in this town and thinks it's okay to dump anywhere trash and debris and junk and think that that's okay. It stops now. And this community needs to say it stops now. And we need to all come together and say enough of this crap going on here in Wyandotte County. When you talk about things that make this county look bad, not because we wanted to, but because people don't have enough respect for our community, especially when we have one of the most robust waste management contracts anywhere you would find in this nation, to where you can sit just about anything out and waste management will come and pick it up. There's no excuse for it. So I share strongly in the sentiments of our commission and our staff that we're serious about this. And I want the community and the public that's watching to know that we are serious and we are going to continue to ramp up our efforts to make sure that we do everything to keep our community and Wyandotte County beautified. So thank you, staff. Thank you. Commissioner Davis.
Thank you, Mayor. And I echo your words and sentiments, you and colleagues. I do have a question. I know that during the pickups, we have found, or at least staff has told me about mail and people's names and addresses being found in the dumping. And so I don't know if this would be a PD question or a question for legal, but what is the threshold to prosecute someone for illegal dumping? Is it we have to catch them in the act? Is it we found evidence that you are identified? What is that threshold to hold somebody accountable?
This is Wendy Green, Deputy Chief Counsel. It's pretty much they have to be caught doing it. So somebody has to see them do it. If that's a community member, great, but then that community member becomes the complainant. And sometimes that's very difficult for the community member to want to be the complainant. If it's the police have to see them doing it. So these cameras are going to be a big help because they will be our eyewitnesses in effect. And then the police can be the ones that are signing the tickets as the complainants. But in essence, we have to have visual, we have to see them do it. It's not enough to just have a piece of mail with somebody's name on it because it could be that somebody went and stole their trash and was trying to steal their mail to steal their identity and then just dump the trash someplace. So we have to see somebody actually dumping.
Gotcha. I can imagine for our staff, it's very disheartening to go back over and over again to the site. And I can imagine it's even more discouraging to see addresses that not folks from the outside of our community, but to see Wyandotte County addresses in the trash and dumping. And so I just wanted to make sure that we had at least some way of ensuring that folks are kept accountable. And I know we put $100,000 in the budget for cameras. And if we need more, I would be more than willing to have that conversation because it just has to stop. And our staff could be doing they could be doing other things than going around and picking up after folks who are just being irresponsible. So again, thank all of you that are doing this work. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Townsend?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, all.
Commissioner Townsend, if you could speak into your mic, we can barely hear you.
Okay, Mayor, is this better at all?
Nope, not at all.
Okay. Is that better? I tried to adjust the volume.
Not really, but we'll let you go for,
Well, I will keep
I
it
think
short.
clerk, are you able to capture?
Can,
We're not picking her up.
Okay. Unfortunately, Commissioner Townsend, we can barely hear you, but the clerk can't hear you enough to capture it for record. So, well, I'll circle back to you. Commissioner Lopez.
Yes, just want to talk about the, kind of reiterate what Commissioner Davis was saying, that, you know, I found trash, kind of went through it, just to see if I could find anything to figure out who dumped it. Found a job application, had a phone number, called him. Guy was from Independence, and told him that he needs to come pick it up or he's going to jail. And he came right over and picked it all up. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Townsend, you want to try again?
yes, Mayor, can you hear me?
No, we can hear you very faintly.
Okay, I'm trying to speak as clearly as I can into this. Thank you. I just wanted to thank the current iteration of our abatement team. And there's never been a time since I've had the occasion to call in and ask for an abatement or remediation of trash or bad situation when our people have not promptly responded to the best of their ability. And I appreciate that in the former configuration and in the current one. And I hope these cameras, the addition of them, will lead to prosecutions of people who know better. They know they are doing something that's illegal when they do it. So I hope the cameras will lead to prosecution of these people. Thank you.
Okay, for those that didn't hear Commissioner Townsend, I'm just trying to paraphrase. She basically was thanking staff, and she's really encouraged about the work that staff is doing. She's encouraged about the cameras. Shame on those that continue to dump and be irresponsible. And she's also encouraged as well of the commission's actions moving forward. And she just wanted to reiterate she really appreciates staff. Hopefully that captured what you were trying to say, Commissioner Townsend. Okay, Commissioner Ramirez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Idea, maybe, kind of going off of what Commissioner Lopez was saying. Is there a world where if you guys find information, you can give it to PD and PD gives a call, say, hey, we found your information in an illegal dumping site, just to make them know that they are being watched?
I can't tell you what happens after we turn it to PD, because that's what we do. We turn everything that we have over to PD, but I can't answer the question. That would have to be with community policing.
Okay, I think that would just be a good idea, just so that they give them a call, say your information was found at an illegal dumping site, just so the alarms bell go off in their head, just to give them hey, we're watching you.
Well, I would tell you, our staff has been tempted to go just by the houses and stuff, because it's very frustrating for us to go out there 6, 7 times out to a place. It's very frustrating for the staff to go back out over and over again. So yeah, I'm sure some ideas have run into our head that we're not allowed to do.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'd just like to reiterate, I just really want to thank you all, staff. I know that when I brought it forward to the administrator and to some of the executive staff and told them that this was a huge issue, and it's not something new to Wyandotte County. I remember, and Commissioner Stites can attest, he was in community policing. Coming from the police department, we had something called Operation Brightside for years, decades. And then right before I left the police department, it went to SOAR, and now we have blight and beautification, but the goal is the same. Keeping Wyandotte County clean and removing the perception that this is not a nice place to be, because perception, again, is reality. And anybody knows anything about the term broken windows theory, even though this is a great place to live, work, and raise a family, if it doesn't look like that, people aren't going to believe that. And if they live here, they're not going to feel like that. So I really want to commend you all on the work, because you all took a concept, and what I see is with the limited staff you have, you've really created an environment where all the departments are working together, and it's really an all hands on deck type of deal. But sadly, all hands on deck means that you're pulling personnel that weren't tasked to do this, and that's not right. And so we have, I believe, right at maybe 50 neighborhood groups. This is a suggestion. Maybe look at partnering with some of our neighborhood groups, because I know at least quarterly, especially throughout the spring and the summer, they have neighborhood cleanups, and really ramping up those types of initiatives and getting some of our neighborhood groups involved. I was out there with Commissioner Ramirez in I live in Rosedale. I've done cleanups throughout this city, throughout my career here, almost 40 years. I mean, I can't tell you how many. I know Commissioner Stites has. That's just some of the things that a lot of neighborhoods do. We know community policing do, a lot of police officers do on their own. But really, it shouldn't be just an all hands on deck with our UG employees. This has to be an all hands on deck with everybody that loves and calls Wyandotte County home. We really have to take ownership of our community. Report those individuals that you see illegal dumping and get their license plate. Don't put yourself in harm's way, naturally, because you got to think safety, because there are some questionable individuals out here. But if you can do so safely and take a picture or snapshot and get that information and turn it over to Rocky or the appropriate authorities, that's what they need. We have got to work together as a community to get a handle on this. This is a question that I have as well for maybe our waste management director. You can come forward. Our legal. We have one of the most robust waste management contracts anywhere you would find in this nation, even with our pilot. It's still very robust. And this is just a question because I'm not really sure, and I'm sure a lot of our residents aren't sure. If there's trash and debris on curbs, sidewalks, tires, what contractually, as far as our relationship with waste management, what are they obligated to pick up? And are we engaging them and saying, okay, this isn't just a UG problem. We have a contract with you. How does our contract, I guess the word I'm looking for, contractually, what is their responsibility to help with this problem?
Diana Miles, I'm solid waste manager. Waste management only provides residential trash service. They are not contractually obligated to provide any other service in the city. I don't know if there's any other city that does that, just because there's other cities surrounding KCK that haul their own trash, so they probably have other programs. However, they do not pick up on the side of the road or any of that.
For example, I guess I'm talking more along the lines, if in neighborhoods, residential, if there are debris, trash that are there, whether a homeowner puts it out or not, but if it's there, a toilet seat, whatever the case may be, for clarity, waste management contractually is obligated to take that item.
If it is placed out on the curb, yes. They should put it in bags, but large items, yes, they can set that out. So it is up to the resident to place those items on the curb, not out in the street or just, illegally dumping.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Commissioner Bynum?
Thank you. Just out of curiosity, has anyone analyzed the cost of the extra cleanups? And I ask because taking truckloads of dumping to the landfill isn't free. Correct. Have we put a dollar amount that we're spending out of our budget to this issue? And I don't want to take away from how important it is and great it is that we're doing it, but I just think People need to understand it's not free.
Oh, absolutely. And I can get those numbers really quick. When Streets and Parks sends their information to me, they do include like a labor dollar amount that they do. So it'll be pretty simple. I think I could work with Diana on getting some numbers, like the tons that have been taken out and stuff. And I could do that pretty quick and send it to you guys in a report.
Yep, that'd be great.
And that's a key point, Commissioner Bynum, because everyone should know there's a cost associated with it. And I know that everyone is worried about their unified government fees and their property taxes and things like that. Well, when we have staff doing these types of things that really aren't budgeted for, because you can't, how do you quantify 107 truckloads of trash every year? But at the end of the day, the taxpayers end up footing the bill. That's unfair to our taxpayers that are already struggling with some people believe, high property taxes here in Wyandotte County. That just adds that added weight of a tax burden that our taxpayers shouldn't have to be obligated to foot that bill. So again, this is all hands on deck, not just for unified government, but for the entire Wyandotte County. But I really want to thank you all for just galvanizing your efforts. Yes, I think they deserve a round of applause. Yes. And
I can go back to Commissioner Bynum's real quick. Just, I can tell you the cost of the tires is absolutely insane to get those taken away. But just 1 week that we picked up, it was the most amount of tires we ever picked up. It was $5,000 just for that. 5,000.
Wow. Well, thank you, Ms. Mason. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much for your work. Thank you. And thanks to this commission and to our executive team at the administration for really making this a priority. And hopefully and thank you, Commissioner Bynum, for your recommendation to really increase these fines in a way that hopefully can add some level of deterrence. So thank you. That takes us to our next item. It's an update. It's coming from Assistant County Administrator Alan Howes. He's going to give us an update on the warming shelter for the 2025-2026 cold weather season.
All right. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, County Administrator, Alan Howes, Assistant County Administrator. Just a brief update, I think as requested in the October 2nd meeting. And the warming center is on track to open this year. It will be located at the Willa Gill Center as it was last winter. The RFP for that contractual service closed today. So there'll be a selection process shortly to follow after that. Then the provider will be named and we'll start the process of getting that physically ready as well as getting the staffing in place and the training for that staff. Working closely with Billings and Logistics and their team, as well as community development and our public safety organizations, which are also play an important role with the warming center. The funding appropriated for the warming center is $250,000. $225,000 of that is community development block grant funds, and $25,000 of that is general fund from the city. So that's the kind of the basic. So we are on track. We will have a warming center this year, and it will serve the same number of folks that we've been able to serve in years past.
Thank you, Mr. Howes. Any questions from the commission? Okay, thank you, Mr. Howes. Thank you. And that takes us to proclamations, clerk. They're abbreviated.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 3 proclamations. Proclamation, now therefore I, Tyrone Garner, Mayor, CEO of the Unified Government of Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas, do hereby proclaim October 28th, 2025 as National First Responders Day in Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas. Proclamation, now therefore I, Tyrone Garner, Mayor, CEO of the Unified Government of Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2025 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas, and call upon all residents to recognize the importance of breast cancer awareness. Proclamation. Now therefore, I, Tyrone Garner, Mayor, CEO of the Unified Government of Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas. Mayor, you have one final proclamation?
Okay, before you read that, this proclamation is really special to me. When I became mayor, well, first of all, let me give you a little context. I'm not originally from Wyandotte County. I grew up in San Jose, California. For those of you that didn't know, my father worked for General Motors. The plant in the Bay Area closed, and my father moved our family here. And I ended up graduating from Wyandotte High School. I believe it was my sophomore year in high school when I came here. And one of the things I noticed is back then that the parks were in disrepair. You had swings that didn't work. You didn't have walking trails, and if you did, they weren't walking trails you really wanted to walk on. And the parks hadn't been upgraded. It just wasn't a place where a family would want to take their kids or to have a family function. Now, fast forward to throughout the years, I become mayor, and I go to some of these parks. Not all of them, not all, but enough of them to where I noticed that not that much had changed from the time I graduated from high school till when I became mayor. And that was troubling to me, especially when you talk about areas east of 635 that had been disenfranchised, disinvested, and a lot of these areas intentionally redlined for decades. And that said to me that these individuals that lived in these neighborhoods deserve to have the good services and amenities just like anywhere else you would find in this county. And to not have that was a huge disservice to those individuals that lived in those neighborhoods and resided in those neighborhoods and called Kansas City, Kansas home. So I met with our parks director, Angel Ferrer, and I gave her a call to action. And I told her about some of these things. The basketball courts that our kids simply just didn't want to play on because there weren't any hoops that they were either hanging, didn't have nets, or they just didn't have any hoops at all. The pickleball or the tennis courts that were just courts, nothing that you could literally play any sports on. The baseball fields that were just turning into dust bowls. There wasn't very many walkability areas in our parks, and that really bothered me when you talk about a county that had some of the lowest health outcomes anywhere you'd find in the great state of Kansas. And when you talk about really what makes a neighborhood something special and uniquely great, we always talk about schools, but to me, followed behind that is public safety. And then followed behind that is our parks. Places where families and people can go to enjoy each other, take their kids, and really feel like, okay, this makes my community feel like community. It makes my neighborhood feel like a neighborhood that I want to live, work, and raise my family. And I can say that since I've been mayor, that beyond my expectations, all I did was give administration and our parks director a call to action. And a lot of the money they found it through grants. So it didn't come out of the taxpayers' rolls here. But I can tell you just about every park you can think of east of 635 from the northeast all the way down to Rosedale has been touched. And I challenge anybody to go see for yourselves. You now have basketball courts where kids are actively playing basketball, walking trails that our seniors and our young people are using. You have pickleball and tennis courts that people are using. You have picnic areas that people are using. You have green spaces that are not just green spaces, but they're well maintained and they're clean. And they look like nice, beautiful parks that anybody in our county could be proud of. And not just there is east of 635, because there's been a lot of improvements. If you go west to Wyandotte County Lake, to Wyandotte County Park, and a lot of parks in between. And so it really gives a lot, it just gives a lot of credit to the work of the parks team, or I should say they deserve a lot of credit for the work that they put in to really just take our parks program here in Wyandotte County to that next level. Parks that I'm proud of as mayor, parks that I go out in the community and people are saying, wow, I can't believe what you all have done to these parks. We never would have thought in a million years that we finally got amenities that our families and our young people can enjoy. And so I am really just proud tonight to recognize the Wyandotte County Parks Department, their leadership. It just goes without saying, and it's not just because I'm recognizing because they did something for me. It's not about me. Never was, never has been, and never will be as this mayor. It's about the community. When I go out and see the smiles on young people's faces, when I go out, especially over the summertime, and I saw people walking the trails, families using the shelters, tournaments going on, the baseball fields being used, and the smiles and the positive energy that was coming, because now people in these neighborhoods had something that they could not just be proud of, but something that they can use. That made me feel good as mayor, and it made me feel even better about the work of our Parks Department and the commitment they made, not to me, not to this commission, but to this community. And for that, I wanted to make sure that we recognize them and honor them because they deserve to be honored for the hard work that they've done on behalf of the good people that love and call Wyandotte County home. And so, Clerk, can you read that proclamation?
Proclamation. Whereas parks, trails, our lake, community centers, splash pads, courts, shelters, playgrounds, public pool, museum, and public green spaces are essential to the health, well-being, vibrancy, value, and enhanced quality of life for residents of Kansas City, Kansas, and Wyandotte County. And whereas under the leadership of Angel Ferrara and her team, the Unified Government Parks and Recreation Department has pursued bold, equitable, visionary, valued, community-driven park and facility improvements across Wyandotte County to include long overdue investments in historically disinvested and disenfranchised areas east of 635. And whereas over the past several years, the department has overseen more than $15.5 million, including a combined $9.8 million from Community Development Block Grant, congressional earmarks, American Rescue Plan Act, and Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act, or the CARES Act funds, in capital upgrades, repairs, amenity expansions, and safety enhancements, investments that are transforming parks throughout Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas, into becoming something all that love and call Wyandotte County home can be extremely proud of. And whereas on the east side of 635, nearly $2.5 million in community development block grant funds supported major improvements at Clam Park, a new basketball, tennis, and pickleball courts, and LED lighting. Kensington Park, new basketball court, sidewalks, benches, parking lot upgrade. Clopper Field, new walking trail loop and improved parking lot. And Clifton Park, a new spray park, the first in Kansas City, Kansas in over 20 years, that address long-deferred needs in red line neighborhoods. And whereas at Wyandotte County Lake, key enhancements have made a difference in accessibility, safety, and community enjoyment, including construction of a fenced dog park near Shelter 16 and the archery range in 2025, emergency storm damage repairs to paths, trees, docks, marina, and boat infrastructure to reopen the lake park safely, the Korean War Memorial enhancements, significant improvements to the Wyandotte County Museum, addition of restrooms, pickleball courts, and replacement of the main playground and replacement of the shared dock and other amenities. And whereas a transformative investment has been made to community health and well-being by installing 6 new walking trails constructed in 2024 and 2025 across Wyandotte County, Kansas City, totaling almost 3 miles in St. Margaret's Park, Clopper Field, Kensington Park, Pearson Park, Clam Park, and Wyandotte County Park. And whereas on November 14th, 2025, the department will celebrate a $1 million investment of congressional earmarks and the Recreation Trail Program grant in Kensington Park, which includes 2 12U soccer fields, upgraded lighting, and 1/3 mile of accessible walking trail, which will provide a high-quality location for the Youth Recreational Soccer League in the urban core. And whereas these improvements contribute to the long-term sustainability, equity, and livability of our city and county, ensuring that every resident has access to well-maintained, inclusive, and vibrant recreational opportunities. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Tyrone Garner, Mayor of the Unified Government of Wyandotte County and Kansas City, Kansas, do hereby recognize and commend the Wyandotte County Parks and Recreation Department, and especially Angel Ferrara, for their outstanding leadership, dedication, and commitment to improving and uplifting our park system, and do hereby proclaim October 30th, 2025 as Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas Parks and Recreation Day in Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas.
Angel, if you and your team can come forward, that'd be great. And I think we left one park out. There's a new park that was built on Strawberry Hill that wasn't even there. So, Angel, while I come down, if you'd like to have words.
Thank you, Mayor Garner, for this recognition. On behalf of Parks and Recreation Department, some of us are here tonight. We are really honored to receive this. We do have several members that couldn't be here. We have staff still working at our community centers, but we are really grateful for this recognition. We have really appreciated the support that we've had over the past several years from our Board of Commissioners, our Park Board members, and most certainly our community. Anytime we've had something come up, the commission and our leadership has really supported us and found ways, if it wasn't through grant funding, to help us find funding. Assistant County Administrator Alan Howes has been really helpful for us in connecting some departmental collaborations with CDBG, but we can't do it without this team. We have an amazing team, and they are really looking forward to continuing to listen to our community and work together to make this happen, because it doesn't happen without collaborations and support. So thank you so much for recognizing us and also just believing in us and this team and trusting that we can get the work done. We're excited. And then we have a lot more parkland, so yeah.
It's my honor, Angel. Thank you so much to you and your team.
Ready, smile now. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Good. Trying to plan when I can't see faces. Okay, here we go.
All right, let me get one real quick for this phone. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Congratulations.
That was something really special. And I really mean that. I mean, just to look at what has happened, the transformation to parks in these disinvested areas is really something special. And so I'm really excited on what lies ahead for our Parks Department as they continue to do great work. That concludes that portion of this meeting. We will now proceed with the items on the planning and zoning portion of the agenda. I'll ask the clerk to read the statement required by state law governing the planning and zoning portion of the meeting, followed by items on the planning and zoning consent agenda. Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. We would like to welcome all present to the meeting of the Unified Government Commission. Members of the commission are Mayor CEO Tyrone Garner, Commissioner Melissa Bynum, at-large District 1, Commissioner Tom Burrows, at-large District 2, Commissioner Gail Townsend, District 1, Commissioner Bill Burns, District 2, Commissioner Christian Ramirez, District 3, Commissioner Evelyn Hill, District 4, Commissioner Mike Kane, District 5, Commissioner Phil Lopez, District 6, Commissioner Chuck Stites, District 7, and Commissioner Andrew Davis, District 8. As each petition is called, all persons for or against will be given the opportunity to express their views. If this is the first time that a particular petition has been before the commission has three options. One, it can approve the recommendation of the Planning Commission with 6 votes. 2, it can override the Planning Commission's recommendation, but it would take 8 votes to override. 3, it can return the matter to the Planning Commission for further consideration, together with a statement specifying the reasons for the referral back to the Planning Commission. The consent agenda is the first part of the Planning and Zoning agenda. Items on the consent agenda have received a unanimous vote of recommendation by the Planning Commission. Unless there is a request to set aside an item from the consent agenda by the applicant, a member of the public, the Unified Government Commission, or others, then the Planning Commission's recommendation on all of the items on the consent agenda will be adopted by the Unified Government Commission at one time. I will read the list of agenda items on the consent agenda, and when I have completed the list, the mayor will ask if there are any requests to set aside items from the consent agenda. This is your time to come to the microphone and provide the agenda item to be set aside if you do not agree with the Planning Commission's recommendation. If you're joining us virtually, this is your time to raise your hand, and once acknowledged, provide the agenda item to be set aside. If you contacted the UG Clerk's office, that item will be set aside by the clerk on your behalf. If an item is set aside, the matter will be discussed and voted on separately. All items not set aside will be approved with the Planning Commission's recommendation. We appreciate the attendance of those people here this evening, and we recognize the importance of each petition. We would, however, remind you that there are a number of items on the agenda, and we would appreciate your efforts to make your remarks as concise as possible. We ask that anyone with a cell phone, please turn them off or switch to non-audio so you will not disturb the meeting. If joining us virtually or by phone, we ask that you mute your phone when not speaking to avoid background noise so you will not disturb the meeting. Once the petitioners make their presentation, anyone for or against will be allowed the maximum 3 minutes to state their views. As you come to the microphone, please state your name and city for the record if attending in person. This is also your time to raise your hand if you're joining us virtually. When your name is called, please state your name and city for the record. The mayor and commission are required to disclose contacts with proponents or opponents on any item on the planning and zoning agenda. At this time, does any member of the commission wish to disclose any contact with proponents or opponents on any item on the agenda?
Commissioner Bynum?
Thank you, Mayor. I've heard from opponents on non-consent 8.3, PR 2025-028.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Davis?
Thank you. I've heard from opponents of COZ 2025-024.
No.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Townsend?
Kane.
Kane.
Commissioner Kane, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mayor. Opposition to PR 2025-028.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Stites?
Stites District 7 on planning and zoning non-consent agenda item PR 2025-028 in opposition.
Thank you, Commissioner Burrows.
The same as Commissioner Stites, PR 2025-028 opponents. And Mayor, I'd like to point out that there's 2 on the consent calendar that I chaired on a committee, and we did have some public input from those that are involved on the task force. So I would like to disclose 7.32 and 7.33.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Stites?
Stites, District 7. I also was chair on the same committee as Commissioner Burrows. So I'd like to disclose on 7.32 and 7.33.
Thank you. Any other commissioners, clerk? Online?
None online.
Okay. Clerk, if you can read the items.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll now read the items on the consent agenda. Planning and zoning consent agenda, change of zone application, item 7.1.1, COZ 2025-024, Richard Hawkins. A recommendation and ordinance for a change of zone from unzoned to MP3 heavy planned industrial district at 14 South 59th Lane, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0. Special use permit applications, item 7.2.1, SP 2025-056, Crystal Voth with Atlas Land Consulting LLC. A recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit renewal for the continuation of a short-term rental at 9990 Hollingsworth Road, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0 for 2 years. Item 7.2.2, SP 2025-057, Larry and Christy Pretty. A recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit renewal for the continuation of keeping chickens, ducks, and goats at 3425 North 87th Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0 for 2 years. Item 7.2.3, SP 2025-058, Adam Reynolds. A recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit renewal for a continuation of a short-term rental at 4443 Eaton Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0 for 2 years. Item 7.2.4, SP 2025-059, Tita Lagrimas. A recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit renewal for the continuation of a 10-day transfer facility for non-regulated DOT hazardous materials and hazardous waste at 1620 South 45th Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0 for 10 years. Item 7.2.5, SP 2025-061, Jessica Betts. A recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit renewal for a short-term rental at 749 Locust Avenue, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0 for 5 years. Miscellaneous. Item 7.3.1, resolution, adoption of the identified vision, mission, and goals of the Wyandotte County Vision Zero Action Plan through the GODOT Countywide Strategic Mobility Plan in order for the unified government to be eligible for additional funding opportunities, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0. Item 7.3.2, ordinance. An ordinance amending portions of the Unified Government Sign Code by expanding the number and types of signs that are permitted in commercial, industrial, and mixed-use zoning districts, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0. Item 7.3.3, ordinance. An ordinance amending the definition and requirements of a home occupation to operate as an accessory use and designating additional home occupation uses as requiring a special use permit, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0. Item 7.3.4, ordinance. An ordinance rezoning property at 1135 North 134th Street from C1 Local Business District to R1 Single Family District, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0. Item 7.3.5, ordinance. An ordinance authorizing a special use permit for a short-term rental at 4512 Cambridge Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0. Item 7.3.6, ordinance. An ordinance authorizing a special use permit for the continuation of a daycare at 2605 West 39th Avenue, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0. Item 7.3.7, ordinance. An ordinance authorizing a special use permit for temporary use of land to keep a shipping container at 1424 South 80th Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 9-0. This represents all of the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Clerk. Do any members of the commission, the county administrator, or the public wish to set aside any item on the planning and zoning consent agenda? If an item is not set aside, all items on the planning and zoning consent agenda will be voted on by one vote to follow the recommendation of the planning commission. Clerk, has anyone contacted your office requesting a set aside?
No contact.
Okay, is there anyone in attendance today that would like to set aside an item? Okay, seeing none. Clerk, is there anyone joining us virtually that would like to set aside an item?
No hands are raised.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's a motion, second. Clerk, roll call.
Roll call. Burns.
Aye.
Ramirez.
Aye.
Kane.
Aye.
Lopez.
Aye.
Stites. Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Burrows,
Aye.
Townsend.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
All right, that takes us to the next item is our non-consent agenda. As the second portion of our planning and zoning part of this meeting tonight. Clerk, if you'd read the first one.
This is change of zone application COZ 2025-022, Darrell Rakowski. A recommendation and ordinance for a change of zone from AG Agricultural District to R1 Single Family District for residents at 12525 Leavenworth Road, recommended for approval by a vote of 6-3.
Thank you. Staff, you can make some remarks.
Alyssa Marcy, Planning Department. This was recommended for approval. I do want just everyone to keep in mind that this is just for the change of zone as part of the conditions of approval. They would have to submit a final plat, which would demonstrate the amount of houses that would be on this property. And that change would be currently, they had 7 lots. They're thinking about 4, but again, the only thing you're voting on tonight is the change of zone.
Okay, is the applicant present?
We do have a Jason Rakowski online.
Okay, Mr. Rakowski, if you'd like to make some comments, if you're representing the applicant.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please state your name and address for the record.
Yeah, so it's Jason Rakowski. My address is 14616 West 90th Street. It's Lenexa, Kansas. And then a little bit about the project. So it's my parents that own the property at 125th and Leavenworth Road, or 12525 Leavenworth Road. We are builders and developers in Wyandotte County as well as Johnson County. And so I previously built the home just to the south of where this is planning to go. Essentially we're just looking to split it into, as right now, 4 lots to just put up a couple of, I would say, larger homes, kind of trying to help the area. I feel like there's a little bit of an untapped market for homeowners in Wyandotte County to have homes that are slightly above the current home price, which is in that $400,000 to $700,000 range for new, and there's not really much beyond except for large acreage. And so we're just looking to put a couple of other large homes that are kind of consistent with what's being built recently in the area, as well as kind of on 115th and along that area. So.
Okay, thank you. I'll now open the public hearing. Clerk, have you received any notifications from the public who wish to express their comments in favor of the item?
No comments were received.
Is there anyone present who'd like to speak in favor of the item? Seeing none. Clerk, is there anyone joining us virtually who'd like to speak in favor of the item?
No hands are raised.
Clerk, have you received any notifications from the public who wish to express their comments in opposition?
No comments received.
Is there anyone present who would like to speak in opposition to the item? Please come forward, state your name and address for record.
Neil Palmer, 2600 North 131st Street, Kansas City. Mayor Garner and Commissioners, thank you. For the record, I am not against property owners subdividing land so long as it aligns with the Piper Area Master Plan. What I oppose is approving this change of zoning when it clearly violates the UG's own code of ordinances. Chapter 27-210 of the UG Code requires that any zoning amendment involving multiple lots must go through a planned district process under Section 27-211. That section mandates a preliminary development plan, also called a preliminary plat, with 62 items for submission and factors to be considered. Additional requirements are stipulated across sections 211, 212, 215, and 454. These are not optional. They apply whether it's 4 lots or 400. It's all this. Very recent applications nearby. 5 lots at 13303 parallel, 2 lots at 6801 Wood End, and 241 lots at 12024 Leavenworth Road all followed the proper process. A preliminary plat concurrent and approved prior to adopting a change in zoning from AG to residential. This one has not. The applicant submitted a sketch for 7 lot, but says they may only build 4. They're undecided on street access and non-committal about the required 10-foot sidewalk. They say they'll, quote, endeavor to conform and pursue variances if necessary, unquote, but Kansas law per KSA 12-759 strictly prohibits variances based on self-imposed hardships. The Planning Commission gave a rarely, if ever used, conditional approval, and I note that word condition was not in your addenda tonight, that a plat application be filed within 1 year. But per section 27211-9, the ordinance cannot take effect until the conditions are fulfilled, and the condition added by the Planning Commission doesn't require an approved plat, just a submittal.
1 minute remaining.
That's a very critical flaw and serves only to kick the can down the road when the time to be accountable to the codes is now. The ordinance before you also admits required language referencing the certified preliminary development plan need to affect the change in zoning. Without it, the ordinance is incomplete and therefore non-compliant. If approved as presently submitted, this would set a troubling precedent. Should this body waive code requirements here, it opens the door for other developers to expect the same treatment. Kansas Supreme Court recently ruled that cities failing to follow their own ordinances act unlawfully, and it applies in this case. The law is clear, codes must be followed, not selectively enforced. It's very concerning that this has gotten this far without diligent scrutiny. Tonight, the proper action by this board is to send this back to the Planning Commission as provided under section 27211-8C and require the applicant to follow the same steps and code requirements that every other developer has been held to. So please do so.
Your time
Thank
has
you very much
expired.
for your attention, for upholding the ordinances entrusted to you by the citizens you serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else like to speak in opposition? Okay. Clerk, is anyone joining us virtually like to speak in opposition?
No hands are raised.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing. Petitioner, would you like to make some closing comments?
Yes, I'd love to. Can you hear me again?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Yeah, so the only thing I would say to that is we have just kind of, went into the city, went for approval. We were told that this was the actions and steps that we needed to take in the order that we needed to do so. So we're just kind of following what we've been told by the city and, the people at planning and zoning that we've worked with. So just trying to, do the process the right way. This is just what we were told and how we were told to do it, that we had to go through a change of zone first and then everything else second. So yeah, I think that's probably the only thing that I'd like to say is that we're not trying to skirt anything or do anything backwards. This is how we were told to follow the process. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Commission, any questions, comments? Commissioner Ramirez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First question is to planning staff. I see it is a 6-3. What were the 3 planning commissioners' thoughts on a process of voting no on this application?
Alyssa Marcy, Planning Commission, or Planning Department. So there were some concerns about traffic on Leavenworth Road with the 7 originally proposed houses, which is why the applicant has suggested moving it down to 4. There are conditions, however, if they do get the change of zone and come back to do a plat, that they would have to add some additional sidewalk infrastructure.
Okay, thank you. And my second question kind of is, I know we have our deputy chief counsel and also Mr. Farley with legal. Can we speak to the part of our code that was just spoken about and how this application fits it or doesn't fit it. Thank you.
This is Mike Farley with the legal department. The code section that was referenced, chapter 27, section 210A2, does refer to the development of multiple lot subdivisions and some non-residential uses. However, the operative word here is should. That does still give staff discretion as to whether or not to apply that. If it was shall, it'd be different, it'd be mandatory, but should does allow for discretion.
Okay, thank you. And from my knowledge of being here, it has always been the case that we provide a change of zone first before most projects move forward, because they could bring the whole project forward but not approve the change of zone. So it's always been practice that the COZ comes first. Is that correct?
Alyssa Marcy, that is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Clerk, anyone online?
No hands are raised. We do have a hand now.
Okay, Commissioner Townsend.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm gonna try, I hope you can hear me. This is-
Barely.
Okay, well, this is a follow-up to the question Commissioner Ramirez raised. I'm interested in knowing why, under this circumstance, the process was allowed for the reason Mr. Farley articulated. I mean, is this something that, what made this unique to allow the may instead of the should to be used? I am concerned that we be consistent in following the ordinances.
I think that's for legal. Commissioner Townsend was wanting to know what discretion was used to where may as opposed to should was used in this. Her concern is making sure that we are consistent in how we abide by our ordinances here at the Unified Government that this commission has approved. And so what was different? What triggered you all to use discretion that went outside the normal process?
Alyssa Marcy Planning. Our original case planner, I would have to ask Byron Choi specifically. I will say though, to Commissioner Ramirez's point, typically we want to see a change of zone first because a proposed project, if it doesn't fit in the current zone, wouldn't be able to move forward until it has a change of zone. Otherwise, you could bring forward a plat, but it's not going to fit into if it doesn't fit into the zone, it wouldn't be able to move forward. But I will reach out to the case planner right now and see if I can get a specific answer for you.
Commissioner Townsend, did that answer some of your question?
Well, thank you, Mayor. It didn't answer, but I think they're taking the action necessary. And if we can't do that, if this is the first time this has been presented, maybe the better thing to do for a thorough review is to send it back to planning and zoning for the legal analysis and make sure that we are being consistent, or why we, what has happened here, to make sure that we address the speaker who was in opposition's concerns.
Okay, for those of you that didn't hear, Commissioner Townsend basically is recommending that we send it back to planning and zoning to make sure that we are consistent from a legal perspective in how we're moving this project forward. Is that correct, Commissioner Townsend?
Right, and for an explanation, a thorough analysis at that level as why it appears we're taking this action instead of what the speaker in opposition was concerned about.
And she also mentioned that a thorough explanation as to why staff has taken this position to kind of, I guess, answer some of the questions that the individual that came forward in opposition had posed in regards to opposition of this item moving forward in its current iteration. So, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Kane?
I agree with Commissioner Townsend. There seems to be some confusion. And before we vote on something like this, I think we need to dot our i's and cross our t's and make sure that what we're doing is correct.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, well, with that said, Commissioner Stites.
Stites District 7. So I've got a question that I guess I'm trying to figure out how did we get to this point? And then how do we not get to it again? Right? Like, so if the ones that were mentioned earlier, the 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it was, projects went the other route, why this one? What's allowing that flexibility? And why would we not have recommended with the should that you go the other route, the preliminary first? I mean, is it just totally, that, and I don't want to sound flippant about it, but that's what I felt like doing that day? Or what's that based on?
Oh, no, Alyssa, Marcy Planning. Again, I will have to ask the case planner specific to get you an answer
Okay.
to that.
And I think,
So-
I think with that, I mean, being said, then obviously we would probably need to send it back and come back through the channels and let's get those questions answered. So I'd be in favor of that also.
Is that a motion? Oh, there was. Okay, was there a motion?
No, Mayor.
Well, I'm asking for a motion.
I move to send it back to planning commission for further review.
Second.
There's a motion, second, clerk, roll call.
Roll call. Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Kane,
Aye.
Lopez,
Aye.
Stites, Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Burrows, Townsend.
Aye.
Motion carries 9-0.
All right, thank you. Clerk, can you read the next item?
Next item is special use permit application SP 2025-041, Bhavesh Patel. A recommendation and ordinance for a special use permit, temporary use of land for a storage container at 1805 North 110th Street, recommended for approval by a vote of 7-2 for 5 months.
Thank you. Staff, can you make some remarks?
Alyssa Marcy Planning. So I just want to clarify a few things for this case. So this is recommended for approval. However, this is temporary, so this would only be for a 5-month duration, so until March, to be able to have the containers on the property. There are also some conditions that require, they have 30 days to clean up the property and address some concerns and notices of violation in the past, which is what has triggered the special use permit in the first place.
Thank you. Is the applicant or representative available?
The applicant is online.
Clerk, you can recognize him.
Mr. Patel?
This is Bhavesh Patel. This is 1805 North 110th Street. And I'm asking for 5 months storing a storage container, temporary.
Okay, thank you. I'll now open the public hearing. Clerk, have you received any notifications from individuals who would like to express their comments in favor of the item?
No comments were received.
Is there anyone present who'd like to speak in favor of the item? Clerk, is there anyone joining us virtually who'd like to speak in favor of the item?
No hands are raised online.
Clerk, have you received any notices from the public who wish to express their comments in opposition to the item?
No comments received.
Is there anyone present who would like to speak in opposition to the item? Clerk, is anyone joining us virtually who'd like to speak in opposition to the item?
No hands are raised.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing. Petitioner, you'd like to make some closing comments?
No, thank you for, we'll make sure that the property stay clean and all the vials are already been taken care.
Okay. Commission questions? Commissioner Ramirez?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What is going to be held in these storage containers? I guess that's a question to the applicant, but what, if Mr. Patel, if he can answer, what is going to be stored in the storage containers?
I'm sorry, I think I missed. Can you repeat that again?
What are you going to store in the shipping containers?
Yeah, so we are storing a carpet padding, some flooring, and some of the old furniture while we sweep out with the new furniture.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Stites.
Stites District 7, is it one container? I mean, the picture, I mean, it says in the wording, but when you look up there, it looks like if you go, there's 5 of them right there. And then, and on the wording here says a storage container.
I'm sorry if I had made that mistake. Fill out the application. This is my first time, going through all this process. But yes, we do have 7 container as of now. And as we go through the process, before the 5 months, we're gonna start removing 1 container at a time. So by the 5 months, all the container will go out. And the reason we have, because we are storing the old furniture, some of the stuff that's supposed to come from overseas because of the tariff issue, we only receive a half stuff that we're supposed to receive from United States. And so we are hold up on. So as soon as we receive the leftover stuff, we're gonna start, flipping stuff, and you will see like 1 container at a time start removing from the property.
Let me see if I got this right. So they're doing a remodeling? Is that what's going on? They're remodeling, they need place to store. Will you let him know that I'm not asking him something, just going over? So, sir, I'm not asking, sorry, I'm just kind of reiterating to make sure that I got a full grasp of what's going on here. So a remodel that's going on, they're storing furniture in there while they're doing the remodel. And then once that happens, this goes away. But these containers are in the front of the business or in the back of the business. This is my district, and I want to know what this looks like.
Alyssa Marcy Planning. So I think to clarify, essentially the special use permit is to allow them to have them even though they had them previously. So while they're removing them and getting rid of all the furniture in them, this is just giving them the ability to have them temporarily as they gradually get rid of them. From what I remember, most of these are in the back.
That's the back? I think that's
The front?
the front. And are all those unsightly weeds still there too?
So with the conditions, they have 30 days upon approval to get rid of
Why did they
these.
get to that point to begin with?
This was something that came up when they had the citation for this shipping containers as well.
And they paid this citation, or they've addressed it, or?
They
I
have.
mean, I think it's kind of ridiculous that we're having to police a hotel that's out there in our prime development area that's being ran down and looks, in my opinion, looks terrible. Trash all out beside the dumpsters. I can see it from here, laying out on the ground. The grass has grown up, looks unkept. I wouldn't want to stay there.
Yeah, so these pictures are from an older case. The abatement of the weeds was closed, but the current violation is associated only with the shipping containers, and that was opened in March of this year. So that is still open, and that would be completed if they finish all of the conditions of this approval.
So Mayor, am I able to ask the applicant how that got to that condition? Sir, is that appropriate to ask? Legal, can I ask, or? Sir, I just wanted to address the conditions of what I can see on the pictures and how it got that way.
Yeah, so the pictures that you see, those are previous pictures, but if you go to the property, anybody can visit property right now. It's completely clean. All the property has been taken care. There is no weed, the grass been taken care and everything. Again, the new management has acquired this property last year, and they have all the new contract, everything in place. So the property is we have no other violations. The violations already been taken care. So only thing we have now is just the container. So there is no weed, there is nothing. We have a shared parking on the back, and we clean everything. So the parking lot is completely clean. There is no weed. Everything been taken care already.
Okay, I appreciate that, but I mean, it got to that point because we had to cite you over it and we took a picture of it. So how did it get to that point without somebody addressing it before our legal and our codes had to get involved?
Yeah, so this is back of the property and we share with the monarch. And I think there is a confusion because when the new management took over, they don't know what they are taking care. But we already talked to the monarch and we are working together and we took care of the property that we supposed to take care on the back side of the picture. So the picture that you see, that's the back of the hotel. I mean, it looks like it's a front, but it's not.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna swing out by there tomorrow.
Yes.
Check it out.
Sure.
But you're saying that the containers are at the back of the property, not the front.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Clerk, any commissioners online?
No hands are raised.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Burrows, move for approval.
Second.
There's a motion, second. Clerk, roll call.
Roll call Burns.
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Kane,
Aye.
Lopez,
Aye.
Stites, Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Burrows.
Aye.
Townsend.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
Thank you. Clerk, can you read the next item?
Plan review application, PR 2025-028, Michael Rhodes. Recommendation for a preliminary development plan for a grocery store with 3 fuel dispensers at 10702 Donahue Road. Recommended for denial by a vote of 7-1.
Staff, some remarks?
Alyssa Marcy, Planning. This project, again, it's for 3 gas pumps in a grocery store. We did receive significant opposition from the public, which is why you were seeing the recommendation for denial from the Planning Commission. The proposed use is allowed in that zone. However, because it's in a planned district, it does require a plan review, which is why it's going through this process before you now.
Thank you, staff. Clerk, is the applicant available?
The applicant is online. Sir, you'll need to unmute.
There we go.
Go
Okay. Good evening, Commissioners and Mayor. My name is Mike Rhodes of 10800 Donahue Road, and I am the applicant and the property owner for the proposed neighborhood market at the northwest corner of Donahue and Hutton Roads. I want to begin by thanking the professional staff and various reviewing departments for their thorough and impartial work. Their analysis of traffic, stormwater, engineering, and design confirmed that this project meets and in many cases exceeds all requirements of the CP1 zoning district. What troubles me tonight is not disagreement over facts, but that the Planning Commission's denial on October 13th appears to have been based mainly on public opposition rather than on objective standards your ordinances require. Under Kansas law, once a project meets the adopted regulations for a permitted use, its approval is ministerial, not discretionary. The courts have made this clear in cases such as Golden versus the City of Overland Park and Godfrey versus the City of Kansas City, where denials are based on emotion rather than evidence, ruled arbitrary and unlawful. The project is not a rezoning or a special use. It is a permitted use under existing zoning. Every technical requirement has been satisfied and no substantial evidence has been presented
showing harm to the public health, safety, or welfare. I want to be clear. I respect my neighbors and their right to express concern. But there must be a distinction between opinion and evidence. When the process shifts from fact to fear, it undermines the integrity of our planning system and the confidence citizens place in it. I am asking for this board to reaffirm the rule of law, uphold your staff's professional judgment, and correct the procedural error committed by the Planning Commission. Approving this plan is not just a legal obligation. It is an affirmation, a reaffirmation of fairness, consistency, and public trust in the systems that govern all of us. I want to thank you, commissioners and mayor, and I have faith in this board's commitment to fairness and to upholding the integrity of our city's process. I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. I'll now open the public hearing. Clerk, have you received any notifications from the public who wish to express their comments in favor of the item?
No comments have been received.
Is there anyone present who'd like to speak in favor of the item?
Mayor, Commissioners, Administration, I'm Greg Kendall, President of the Wyandotte Economic Development Council and a resident here in Kansas City, Kansas, and actually live out in that general area. I tend to agree with Mr. Rhodes for a variety of reasons. This location is zoned appropriately for this use. Mr. Rhodes has gone back and specifically made this site fit exactly what your zoning code said to do. And what it really says is to the general development community is that we're not being consistent. Now, we've already had that conversation once tonight about being consistent and how you're applying your zoning rules. And this is another case in point in which we're not being consistent with the development community and with those who bought property specifically because they had the zoning. The guy who actually has the most impact on this site is Mr. Rhodes. His house is right next door to it. If anybody's going to be mostly impacted by it, it's him. If you drive through this area on a regular basis, as I do every day, there's no other use that you would see for this other than a commercial use. Now, when Mr. Rhodes bought this, there was not a stoplight, but today it is a stoplight. And what do most gas stations have? They have stoplights. Quick Trip or any other gas station won't go anywhere without that stoplight. If you look at the way that the houses are laid out, it's in a U shape. There is no other way that you're going to build houses right there. It would not make a lot of sense. And frankly, it wouldn't make a lot of sense from a revenue perspective for the unified government either. So this location, we're not asking for any incentives. There's property taxes to be paid. There's sales taxes to be provided. There is a need for a small grocery store there. The user, the folks he's planning to work with are all of superior quality and use. I'm not understanding why this has been an issue, why it was approved originally by Planning Commission, came before you all, got sent back, then it gets denied, now it's back before you, even though it meets all of the zoning and regulations that you all have put together. I think from my perspective, and the part that has me the most concerned is what does this say about every other development that we have in the hopper when we don't consistently apply the zoning rules? If you all decide that you want to rezone this, change it, but at least let's make sure that we understand what we're presenting to the general public and to folks who own their property. So I just want to caution you all on the decision that you had before you, because you are making a statement about how we develop in Wyandotte County and what you plan to use around your own zoning code. So I just want to kind of put that out there that it has me concerned. This is not a massive project. It's not a Buc-ee's, but it is a quality project and one that meets the needs of the community in that area. And so I just want you all to know that people are watching these conversations because they want consistency and they want choice and they want certainty over how we're administering these zoning regulations. And we've had a lot of those recently. And I just want to make sure you all know that that's important to us as well as we market the community. Thank you.
Does anyone else like to speak in favor of the item? Clerk, is there anyone joining us virtually like to speak in favor of that?
No hands are raised.
Clerk, have you received a notification from the public who would like to express their comments in opposition?
No comments received.
Is there anyone present who would like to speak in opposition? Please come forward, state your name and your address.
Good evening. My name is Dave Smythe. We have a PowerPoint that we provided earlier. Thank you. You good? We're here to ask that you please accept the 7-1 recommendation to deny this application, and there are good reasons for it. Next slide. We also believe that facts are very pertinent in this, and so we're putting our sources out up front so you can see where we're getting our facts from. Next slide.
You have the remote, sir.
Oh, well, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. Okay. So one of the factors associated with gas stations is crime, because gas stations and convenience stores are behind only cab drivers in terms of likelihood of being robbed on the job in any given year. We and my neighbors bought in this neighborhood because it's stable, it's quiet, crime is rare. And please note that the vast majority of these crime reports that we got it from the LexisNexis crime reporting database came from the area around the gas stations, not from the gas stations themselves. Okay, a few of them did, but the vast majority were not. The only station with less crime than our neighborhood is 2 miles northwest on Pulford Road, which is in the middle of a bunch of farmland. None of us want to see our neighborhood move to the left side of this chart. Next. Thank you. All right, we still have questions at this late date on the site plan. There's the location of storage tank refill ports is not known. As well as the route that the tankers are going to take to get into the facility to do the loading of the tanks. There's no clear answers on how much of the current tree barrier that's been cited is going to be left in place. However, we do know where the tank vents are located, thanks to the drawing Mr. Rhodes provided. It is important to note that those vents and the refill operation are two of the primary reasons for contamination from gas stations, because they were subject to release of benzene, which is a known carcinogen, which the EPA says there is no safe level of. We've also got studies that show that benzene has been, there are hot spots as far as 450 feet away from where those releases occur.
1 minute remaining.
Thank you. All right, so a big question about fuel truck route. At 1 million gallons a year, that's 100 truckloads per year. We don't know where the tank fill ports are, and what the path is that they're going to take, but this is our best guess based on what the logistics of the place are. We do know that those trucks generate 85 to 110 decibels of noise, and they're going to be going within 120 feet of our residences. Winds are out of the south 9 months of the year, which means there's a 75% chance it's going to blow whatever exhaust, contaminants, and noise are generated right into our yards and houses. The existing tree barrier, which was claimed to be about 165 feet in Mr. Rhodes' publications, as well as a natural 45-foot grade, will insulate us from the harmful effects of a gas station right next to our residences. The 45-foot grade is actually closer to 25 feet in the southeast part of the neighborhood. The benefit of that is partly offset by the prevailing south winds that are from the south 9 months of the year here, which are going to blow everything up into our neighborhood.
Your time has expired.
Pardon? Oh, thank you. Can I have 1 more minute?
Mayor, I would make a motion for 1 more minute.
No motion necessary. Go ahead.
Okay. You can see the trees on this drawing where the gas station is superimposed on the satellite view. There will be trees as part of the plan, but those trees are going to take years to grow in. It takes about 100 feet of dense trees to make an effective barrier from a gas station. That leaves the depth and the density of the existing tree buffer as really the only thing that's going to be there, because he's going to take the trees out all the way to the property line, which is going to be within 40 feet of some of people's properties. And this is what that's going to look like. The existing tree barriers, as most of the property line is the orange line, and everything in this shaded area is what he has said he is going to be taking out, which leaves us with really no protection whatsoever from no worthwhile protection from the dangers of this gas station going in here.
Good evening. My name is Paul Aller. I live at 4004 North 108th Terrace. As my neighbor has discussed, the property lines that you see with those homes, which contain one of his homes, they're going to be about 30 or 40 feet. That's about as far as from my front door to the street in front of me. That's how close we're going to have to these gas station, the tanks that are involved in that. I want to talk a little bit about property valuations, and we've cited to the sources as to what we're looking at, but we're looking at between 8 and 12% reduced property valuations by having this in our neighborhood. There are going to be increased homeowners cost, $1,500 to $3,000 for evaluation, additional appraisals that are going to be necessary. If the appraisal, if the bank wants it, they're going to want to have testing done. That's going to be another $5,000 to $10,000. Just for the 13 houses that they will be able to see this this convenience store, this gas station. He calls it a grocery store. Okay, the ordinance talks about gas pumps being associated with a convenience store, a convenience food store. So I don't know how that squares, but we're looking at between $111,000 and $286,000 in lost tax value from those 13 properties. There are 78 homes that are in this community. I submit that these values will also be reduced, maybe not to the extent that the houses that are right there, but to a great extent.
1 minute remaining.
There is certainly a question about whether this business is viable. Mr. Rhodes has indicated that he's going to pay 5 cents per gallon of the money to the Piper School District. We know that gas stations run with a 3 to 5 cent profit. So he's either not going to be making any profit or he's going to be charging substantially more than the other 6 or 8 gas stations that are within a 2 mile, 3 mile distance of that. This is the third time that we've been here. 2 years ago, the same project was proposed. It had 8 gas pumps. His same proposal is for 8 gas pumps. He's just going to put it in 3 pumps at this time, but we'll be asking for an additional 5 pumps later on. Once a gas station, always a gas station. This is a convenience store. It is not in accordance with this property.
Your time has expired.
Could I get 2 more minutes? Okay. We have serious concerns because these are 2-lane roads. I would ask if the commission knows of any other gas station which is on a 2-lane road both ways. There are going to have to be substantial infrastructure additions in order to be able to accommodate that. We also have traffic problems there already. Adding this kind of a commercial business is not going to be helpful. We would suggest that the commission abide by what the planning commission did and deny the application at this time.
Hello, Commissioners. Tony Burks, 4066 North 107th Terrace. You're going to hear from a lot of people that live in the close proximity of this gas station. The ones that are for this don't live in close proximity to this gas station. We're not naive. We know it's commercial one. We know it's going to get developed commercial one. We don't want a gas station. You know, once you put those tanks in the ground, they're there. It's a gas station. It'll always be a gas station. Ms. Rhodes said that this is Piper. Piper supports Piper. Well, this neighborhood's not supporting this. There's 5 gas stations within 4 miles. There's 3 grocery stores within 4 miles. We don't need another gas station or grocery store. There isn't a gas station that's west of 78th Street that's not on a 4-lane road. Donahue, Hutton are not 4-lane roads. It's going to be a traffic nightmare. You wonder why you don't see all these Hen House, Price Chopper putting gas station or gas pumps in their parking lots. Probably not feasible. They're big companies. Also, how long did downtown scream that they needed a grocery store? City built a grocery store, the co-op, and how long was it there? Was it there 3 years before it went under? We don't need another gas station, grocery store, because I really hope if this gets passed, he does well and he has a great business. But I don't want it to close down and there be those tanks in the ground and then it's always a gas station or it's a vacant building with gas tanks in the ground. Commissioner Ward stated at the planning and zoning meeting that this was zoned commercial 1 for what he believes to be, it was zoned for a greenhouse.
1 minute
Which
remaining.
I don't think anybody would have an issue with a greenhouse being there. I understand Mr. Rhodes doesn't want that, but nobody wants a gas station in their backyard. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
To the commissioners, mayor, legal counsel, we just want to stand in.
Sir, we need your name.
I'm sorry, Artrell Harris, 4072 North 107 Terrace, Kansas City, Kansas, 66109. This evening, I stand to join my neighbors as we stand in opposition to this proposal, grocery store / gas station / convenience store proposed at 10702 Donahue. We stand against this because it would diminish our property values, as our neighbors have stated, will take away from the quality of life, bring safety concerns for school-aged children, and provide existing stress on already hectic traffic patterns in our neighborhood. Property values. Stores and establishments such as this diminish property values over time because they have limited resources in deferred maintenance accounts for upkeep. After the first 2 or 3 years, it looks new. Then the upkeep fades. Then a new ownership comes in. Then our property values go down. Then from there, we resell it to another ownership, and therefore the neighbors are stuck with it. Remember, we're heavy property taxpayers in our community, in our neighborhoods. In addition, the quality of life, the quality of life that we're talking and discussing will be diminished. Pollution from gas trucks, diesel trucks, trash compactors, trash removal services, and other vehicles. As Mike Rhodes stated, this is not a food desert. We don't need a grocery store here. No one is asking for a grocery store here. Next, quality of life. Our neighborhood is quiet. You can get a good night's rest after you've worked all day. We're high property taxpayers, and this alleged grocery store / convenience store will bring unwanted traffic and undesirable individuals into our neighborhoods. The neighborhood is quiet and safe. Additional traffic and undesirable individuals are unwanted. Next, something that many people have not raised yet, concern for school-aged children. This may be the most overlooked factor
1
that
minute
we
remaining.
have. Currently, there are no sidewalks on any of the main roads leading to this area. Kids will ride their bikes, scooters, electric bikes, and even some kids will take the parents' golf cart to the store. Sidewalks for children that live across the street from Piper Middle School and Highland Townhomes, as you know, sidewalks are expensive. $8 to $10 a square foot, 12 to 15 a square foot. You need 1.1 miles of exact sidewalks going north. You need 0.7 miles of sidewalks going west. This is $500,000. This is $750,000 of sidewalks. Is that on the developer, or is that on us as taxpayer? Is that on you as UG? Finally, traffic is already stressed. Fact. You've noted that it is a level D traffic. Planning and zoning stated at the last meeting means that the lanes are already stressed beyond capacity during peak times.
Your time has expired.
If I may have 15 seconds. Thank you, ma'am. The morning traffic commute is already horrible between 6:45 a.m. and 7:30, and also in the afternoons. We're at a level D. Fact of the matter is that this store, this operation will exacerbate all the traffic that's already here. Traffic does not flow smoothly as it is. We ask you to continue to vote against this proposal. Thank you.
Becky Aller, 4004 North, 108th Terrace, Kansas City, Kansas. Good evening. Thank you all for your service. I appreciate everything that I've heard tonight. It opens the text of what's happening in our community on both sides. Mayor, your comments about the parks and recreation and how you felt when you came here and grew up, that's what I want to see in our community. I moved here from Western Kansas. I chose this area because it reminded me of where I came from. I can sit on my deck and listen to Piper High School football games. That is a mile away, and hear the band playing. I can walk my dog and not be fearful of traffic driving down the road. Secondly, there is such pride in Wyandotte County in keeping things clean, as we heard of the people that are working so hard in your departments to pick up the trash and make sure things are beautiful. That's how we want. That's what I saw in Piper when I moved there. Everyone is friendly. They care about your neighbors. They reach out if you have a problem. I agree with everyone that says we don't need another grocery store. We don't need a gas station in our backyard. I want it to be a simple family neighborhood that I bought into 10 years ago to retire here. And that's all I'm asking. It's just your consideration. I know Mr. Rhodes is a fine person, and I wish that I wish that he would understand there is an emotional feeling to the community you live in. And ours is asking to not have a gas station and a grocery store. Thank you.
Does anyone like to speak in favor? I'm sorry, in opposition. Okay, clerk, is there anyone joining us virtually like to speak in opposition? Yeah.
We have hands raised online. The first one is Hannah Lang. You'll need to unmute, state your name and residence. You'll have 3 minutes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hannah Lang, or can you guys hear me? I should have verified that first.
Go ahead.
Okay. My name's Hannah Lang. I live at 3941 North 108th Court. My home is featured on the blueprints, and I live within 200 feet of the proposed plan. The proposed plan is similar to one made by the applicant on July 14th, 2025, with the major difference being from the number of pumps from 8 to 3. The applicant was denied by Planning and Zoning, but withdrawn from the full commission meeting due to the applicant requesting to withdraw, but did not show up for further information to provide to the commission. In the original proposal, the applicant stated he would need 8 pumps in order to sustain operations. Now the applicant says 3 will be sufficient. I worry that the original proposal either exaggerated the truth in order to gain 8 pumps, or that 3 pumps will not sustain and will become another abandoned business. Although the proposer promises no vape, liquor, or tobacco product sales, there are concerns that if the store is sold, or if the proposer alters their plans, these products could be sold and lead to subsequent air pollution and public disturbances. As stated in the previous planning and zoning meeting, this plot of land was rezoned commercial for the purpose of a greenhouse. That land was not developed on, sat vacant, and still with its commercial zoning. And this new plan for a gas station does not match the surrounding community. I worry about the potential environmental risks associated with gas storage and gas fires impacting the surrounding homes. And once a gas station is developed and a gas tank is in the ground, it stays there, meaning it will be a gas station forever. Currently, there are 5 other gas stations and 3 other grocery stores in a 4-mile radius. This does not include the upcoming Buc-ee's and another gas station and convenience store that was approved at the July 14th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Signaling this area already has enough gas stations and grocery stores. To note that all of these existing gas stations do not directly back up to residential homes besides one, and that one only shares borders with 3 residential homes. This shares borders directly with 12. For personal impacts, we did purchase our home. We used our savings to invest in this area. Eventually, we will have to sell our home as we expand our family and hope to stay within the Wyandotte County area. We do worry about our home's resale value and marketability due to the proximity of gas station and grocery store. That would have an economic impact on our family as well as the surrounding community in both resale value and closing costs with possible environmental costs associated with testing. There is a tree line that separates the property and our home, but in the fall, winter, and partial spring, these trees lose their leaves. We can see the land from our dining, living, and bedroom. We're worried that we will now see, smell, and hear the gas station all hours of the day, given that the gas pumps are 24/7 pumps. Our homes do sit higher than the proposed property, so we do look down into that. So I suspect we will have noise, air, and light pollution. I would finally like to point out in 2025 alone, community members have spent roughly 17 hours per person in required neighborhood meetings, planning and zoning commission meetings, full commission meetings to make our voices heard. It's very disheartening to have to argue our point continuously as the applicant has not worked with the community members to develop a mutually beneficial plan. I thank you for your time, your public service, and I hope you may take my concerns into consideration.
The next hand raised is from Samsung SMS918U. Please unmute, state your name and residence. You'll have 3 minutes. You'll need to unmute, please.
Okay, my name is Anthony Lasley. I'm at 4040 North 108th Street. Can you guys hear me?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Yes, I'm definitely not agreeing with building this gas station here. I had spoke with the lady that runs the Casey's Market right there off of Leavenworth Road, the manager there. And she says the problem with when you put those type of stations in those residential areas, the theft rate is outrageous. She said a lot of little kids are just coming in there from the stores, stealing items, um, hanging out, being vagabonds, begging for money. And it also brings a lot of panhandlers when they know those are areas that are in nice areas where people have money or live in nice homes, they think. But it's one of those things where she mentioned that owning a gas station, you don't make money off of gas. You make money off of selling cigarettes, those different tobacco wraps, all those different things that attracts kids' attention. That's where they make their money at. It's not made off of gas at all. They make pennies to a dollar off of gas pumps. So it brings a lot of unwanted attention in an area that really nobody even knows about unless they live over there. So definitely please shoot this down because I guarantee if any of you guys lived where my neighbors is living right now, and when these leaves fall, you be seeing lights flashing in the back of your yard. I guarantee you, you definitely would want to live nowhere near nothing like that. Thank you.
Mayor, there are no other hands raised online.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing. Petitioner, would you like to make some closing remarks?
Yeah. Well, I don't even know where to start there. But listen, I guess none of these people drive, for one thing, because those vehicles need the fuel, which is gasoline. And then they park them in their garage. So, I just don't get it. As a matter of fact, this proposed project complies with all applicable EPA and KDHE environmental standards. These regulations ensure that modern fuel operations are significantly safer and more environmentally protective than unregulated household fuel storage. The data demonstrates that risk perception does not reflect actual environmental performance. And if they need to go online, look for this, they can go to this regulatory reference, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, 40 CFR Part 280, and Kansas Department of Health and Environment, KDHE, Underground Storage Tank Regulations, KAR 28-44-15. Spill prevention, control, and containment measures through the EPA is SPCC Rule 40 CFR Part 112. Now, they can look all that up and all this, I don't know why they think that those pumps are 10 feet from their house or 40 feet or whatever they're talking about. There's 175 feet from my property line to their property line, not to their house. That's another 50, 60 feet. Then from my property line down to where the pumps are at, and they're 12 feet underground, okay? That tank is underground. So that's another 175 feet. So you're 350 feet or 400 feet from a house for what they're talking about, all this benzene and all this stuff. Now, those tanks are double-walled fiberglass, monitored by the EPA and the KDHE. So, they're worried about something that's just not there. And if you don't make any money on gas, this gentleman that just spoke needs to go talk to Quick Trip and Buc-ee's and tell them they need to stop right now. Stop selling fuel because you're not going to make any money on it. Listen, the money you make on a gallon of gas right now is 25 cents. I can give up 5 cents to the school district. It's just ridiculous what they've been saying, and they have no facts to back it up. And, I've been out to Vegas several times to the National Convenience Store Association's trade show. They just don't know what they're talking about. And so, but whatever. The bottom line is that this is not a discretionary project. This is an administrative project. And so by Kansas law, if I comply with all the ordinances, you can't turn it down. You have to vote in favor of it. If you don't, you're putting yourself in jeopardy of a lawsuit. And that's just the facts. So I'm not here to destroy that community by any means. You've seen our designs, you've seen our elevations of our store. It's a very nice layout. The store is beautiful. I live right next door to it. So, I'm within 200 feet of it. So that's really all I have to say is that I don't know where they're coming off with all this stuff, but whatever.
Thank you. Commissioners, questions? Commissioner Ramirez?
Commissioner Kane has his hand raised first. He can go.
Go ahead, Christian.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just one question, and my question is to our Deputy Chief Counsel. To the point that Mr. Rhodes made, do we have to approve it? Is that legally required by us?
Wendy Green, Deputy Chief Counsel. For this, I'm going to defer to Mike Farley, who is the attorney assigned to the Planning and Zoning Department.
This is Mike Farley, Legal Counsel. No, just the short answer, the Board of Commissioners always has discretion to act in a reasonable manner when voting to take an action on a planning application such as this. It's not ministerial, it's not administrative, it is actually quasi-judicial.
Thank you. That's what I thought. I knew as long as I've been here, we have never been required to approve or deny an application. I think you said it perfectly. We are a quasi judicial body. That's why majority of us, we cannot have a opinion on the application before today. We have to hear the case on both sides and make our decision based off that. So make it known, we are not required to approve this. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Kane?
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I drive by this intersection 4 or 5 times a day, and it's a mess on a good day. And what was said earlier about the 4-lane roads and stuff like that, you're talking about a very busy intersection. You're talking about bringing people from the highway up there to add more congestion. And I agree with everything that the folks that said that didn't like it. So I move that the Unified Government Board of Commissioners accepts the recommendation of the Planning Commission and denies the plan review of application for case PR 2025-028.
All right, before I entertain those motions, we have Commissioner Lopez.
Yeah, Mr. Rose. Well, I just want to make a couple points. First, when you, there's a gas tank put in the ground. They get pulled out all the time. They get dug out, number one. I just want to make that point real quick. But also, you know, Mr. Rose, what are you going to do when Buc-ee's takes all your business and you're going to have to sell or whatever, or you go under? I mean, what if? I'm making it hypothetical. Because what I'm doing is I'm looking at Buc-ee's all across, and there's not a gas station nowhere near, like there's nowhere near a Buc-ee's in where they're located. And that's I'm just like, what's going to happen after you get everything set up and put all this money in and all that, and then you're not turning anything because you're you know, and there's a big Quick Trip that's getting ready to be built over there off 7th Highway, not very far either. So, I mean, I'm not seeing a gas station around a Buc-ee's in Tennessee, shoot, 50 miles. So I'm not trying to rain on your parade either. I'm just trying to make a point here. What's your plan? Like what's your plan if this was to happen?
If Buc-ee's comes in, well, they're coming in. And, you know, businesses are built on traffic patterns. There's 145,000 cars a day going down I-70. Buc-ee's knows what they're doing. They're grabbing traffic off the highway. Nobody's going to be driving down I-435 and go, hey, look over there. There's Mike's. There's Mike's place. Let's jump off here and go over to Mike's. This isn't happening.
Go ahead, sir. Sorry for the interruption. You can answer the commissioner's question if you're still there.
Yeah, that's it. You know, it's all about traffic patterns. The people that are coming home from work into the Piper community or going out of the Piper community to work aren't going to be going over to Buc-ee's to get gas.
Well, I appreciate it, sir. But I know for a fact that people drive 100 miles out of their way to go to Buc-ee's all the time. I'm just saying, again, I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I'm just saying that what happens when you put all this money in and then, you know, you're not turning enough profit to pay the bills. That's all I'm trying to state. Like, what's your plan when that happens? Hypothetical.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, Mike Farley, Legal Counsel, I do just have one thing for Commissioner Kane. He does need to provide a reason for the denial. I don't believe we had one. We just had the motion for the denial. So we do need a reason.
Commissioner Kane, you got a reason for your denial on your motion?
Yes, for all the reasons that the neighbors talked about, the traffic, and they would come off of 435. The roads can't take it. You know, like they talked about the sidewalks leading up to the school, the kids being down there. There's an awful lot of go-karts and stuff like that, and the roads can't take it.
Okay. Who seconded that? Commissioner Ramirez, are you seconding that? I'm sorry, Ramirez.
Yes, I approve the addition.
Okay. There's a motion, second clerk, roll call.
Roll call. Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Kane,
Aye.
Lopez,
Aye.
Stites, Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Burrows, Townsend.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
All right, that takes us to our next item. It's item 8.41. I believe Commissioner Bynum has a motion for us. I'll entertain it.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion that we delay this vote to the November 6th full commission meeting.
Okay, rationale.
I want the full commission to be present to vote on the item.
Okay. Any discussion?
Kane, second.
Okay, got a motion, second clerk, roll call.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Commissioner Stites.
Stites District 7, well, how do you ensure that all the commissioners will be there on November 6th?
I just know that they're not all here tonight, so I
Well,
want
they
an
won't be here
opportunity.
on November 6th either.
Oh, are you out of town?
That's,
Never mind, it's okay. You don't have to answer.
thank you, because I wasn't.
Any further discussion? Okay, there's a motion, there's a second clerk, roll call.
Roll call. Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Kane,
Aye.
Lopez,
Aye.
Stites, Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Burrows,
Aye.
Townsend.
Aye.
The vote is 8-1. The motion carries.
Okay, that takes us to the regular consent agenda. Do any members of the commission, county administrator wish to set aside any item on the regular consent agenda? If an item is not set aside, all items on the regular consent agenda will be voted on by one vote. I'll entertain a motion. Commissioner Bynum.
I move that we approve all items on the regular consent agenda.
Is there a okay, motion, and there is a second. I'll accept that. Clerk, roll call, please.
Roll call. Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Kane,
Aye.
Lopez,
Aye.
Stites,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Burrows,
Aye.
Townsend.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
Thank you. That takes us to the public hearing agenda. Clerk, you want to read that?
Item 10.1, public hearing and ordinance. Commission action related to the Bucky's project. First element, conduct a public hearing to receive comments regarding the establishment of a redevelopment district. Second element, approve an ordinance establishing a TIF district.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, clerk. I'm going to ask Ms. Chelsea Chisholm, who's our Director of Economic Development here at the Unified Government, to make some remarks.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the commission. Chelsea Chisholm, Economic Development Director. So for the first item tonight under the public hearing agenda is the public hearing on the creation of a tax increment financing district for the Bucky's project. The TIF district is contemplated under the development agreement that was approved previously by the commission.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'll open up the public comment. Anyone that you'll be getting up to 3 minutes to make your comments. And those that do come forward, please make sure that you announce your name and residence for records. And comments should only be limited to the topic at hand. Clerk, do we have anyone who has submitted written comments?
No comments received.
Do we have anyone in the chambers who'd like to, that has signed up, who'd like to speak? please come forward and state your name and residence for record.
So my name is Eva Garcia, Kansas City, Kansas. So the reason I want to speak on the TIF is because I believe, I mean, it's not intentionally stated, but when a TIF is created, there is I don't know if it's an implication or an insinuation that there's going to be some kind of bond issued over it, which points to additional taxes coming from the community for some project. So I know right now we're just talking about the TIF, but it also coincides with the SID, that is the next topic. So once again, we're in a position where developers are asking for incentives from the community. These are multi-million dollar developers asking for more incentives from the community. And this board is creating the opportunity for them to go through. So I would just ask that instead of continuing to allow developers to come back and ask for more incentives that are developer favorable, that we stop creating these opportunities for that to happen. Thank you.
Greg Kindle, President of the Wyandotte Economic Development Council, a resident of KCK, here in support of the redevelopment district. I think as all of you all know, this project brings far more benefits to the community than any short-term TIF is going to provide or any of the other incentives that have been requested. This is a significant win for Wyandotte County. It's a significant job creator. And even though it's a retail project, these are significant wages. As you all know, they pay significantly above wages for the industry. And the amount of revenue we're talking about is several $1 million in terms of property taxes annually and millions of dollars in sales taxes. But for these incentives, we know, you all know, this project does not come to Wyandotte County. And so for those reasons, what we are always looking for is the but-for clause. But for the incentives that are offered, does the project come or not, or does it go to someplace else? And as you know, Buc-ee's doesn't go just anywhere. At most, there'll be 4 in the entire state of Kansas, and we're the first one in Kansas. So if we want to be competitive, it isn't as simple as saying you don't get to say no to incentives, right? We didn't create the incentives, but we don't live in a vacuum either. So every other community that is competing for that project was willing to give far more than we gave, and many of you know that. But what I want to leave with is that the benefits of the project far outweigh any short-term costs in terms of revenues that we did not collect. There's no money coming out of the general fund. It's monies that are coming from the project itself. If you don't do the project, you still get 100% of nothing. Thank you.
Okay, clerk, do we have anyone online who has raised their hands to speak?
We do have hands raised. The first one is Carrie McCarthy. You'll need to unmute. State your name and residence. You'll have 3 minutes.
Hi, Carrie McCarthy, Kansas City, Kansas. Thank you for letting me speak. I just have a quick question. Buc-ee's is a huge win for Wyandotte County. I agree 1,000% with that. But my question is, why wasn't this discussed before the development agreement and the groundbreaking? This appears to me like, let's use Mr. Kendall's but-for scenario. But for us not giving money to every developer that comes in here, they may not have been asking for money. We had this all inked. We were waiting on the groundbreaking, which occurred. Fantastic, exciting. However, now we're talking about how we're going to make it right for them. They chose Wyandotte County. If people are going to choose Wyandotte County, they need to be ready to develop on their own dime. I have no problem helping some places out, but we have been giving money away this year like we have it, and we don't. We talk about paying bond debt down. Yet we've awarded over $300 million in bond dollars between IRB, Star Bonds, TIF, and CID districts. It's completely out of hand. The last thing I'd like to say is we elect you all to represent and speak for the community and show up for us. So when these commissioner meetings come up, we expect the commissioners to be there in person, just like the community shows up in person. Some of us that call in, no, but we're also not getting paid to be there. So I would like something passed that if a commissioner is not sitting there present, they do not vote. Thank you for letting me speak.
Our next speaker, We the People of Wyco. You'll need to unmute, state your name and residence. You'll have 3 minutes.
My name is Steve Sessions, Kansas City, Kansas. Good evening, Commissioners and Mayor. Tonight, I want to address what appears to be a growing pattern in Wyandotte County, a pattern of inconsistency in leadership and selective accountability. Just this week, we sat in the very room you're in now, listened to hours of debate over a residency requirement, an issue where commissioners expressed deep concern about lost revenue if employees were to also move outside of county lines. We heard words like fiscal responsibility, community investment, protecting our tax base. Yet tonight, the same body is about to approve up to $43 million industrial revenue bonds for Buc-ee's. Don't get me wrong. I was a leader in excitement of them coming when they came and said, we weren't taking any incentives. We wanted to be in your community. This deal will exempt them, a national corporation, from paying full share of property taxes, hence an IRB bond. So let's be honest, if the goal is protecting revenue, then this vote contradicts every word that was said during the residency debate. You cannot claim we can't afford to lose property taxes of a few working families, and then in the next breath hand out up to $43 million in tax exemption to $1 billion company. That's not fiscal responsibility. That's political hypocrisy. When our public employees asked for fairness, you demanded studies, reports, surveys, and outside data before you could make a decision. But for this, no study, no impact report, no analysis, just a smile, a ribbon cutting, and a promise that this will bring growth. If this truly represents economic growth, then why are we paying them to be here? Why are we offering millions in incentives to a company that doesn't need them, while telling our own workforce that we can't afford to let them not live here? You said during the residency debate that the next administration should handle the decisions because it was too big, too important, and would have long-term impacts on this county. Well, this deal is at least 43 million big and carries 20 years of impact. If you didn't have the confidence to vote on one, you shouldn't have the confidence to vote on the other. We're asking for consistency, accountability, and leadership that makes sense. You cannot claim to be protecting Wyandotte County's revenue while giving it away in the same meeting. So before you cast your vote tonight, remember this. The people of Wyandotte County, we are watching, and we will remember, and we will hold you accountable. Not just for the negatives, we're here to cheer you on for the great results. But it's time that we make responsible economic development agreements. It's okay to give incentives, but it's more importantly to take some of them as well. And to say what may be, that's just a guess. It's time that we have stuff now. Thank you.
Mayor, there are no other hands raised online.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments from the commission? Commissioner Bynum?
Thank you. Just Ms. Chisholm or legal, whichever, would you reiterate for us what is a TIF district? That's the item that I understand we are voting on item 10.1.
This is Chelsea Chisholm, Economic Development Director. So a tax increment financing district can either be a property tax or it can be generated through sales taxes. In this instance with Buc-ee's, this is a sales tax TIF. So 50% of the incremental, so we'll continue to get that base amount of sales taxes, which I mean, are non-existent currently, but 50% of the incremental city sales tax and then 25% of the county sales tax are contributed towards the TIF. The TIF cap is $3.3 million. What I will say, and it's for up to 15 years, the statutes allow a TIF to be 20 years. Based on the projections, given the number of visitors and the projected sales, they don't anticipate needing anywhere near that 15 years. The development agreement also requires that at no point can public financing or the public contribution exceed 20%. In that case, the TIF cap will be reduced to keep that public-private ratio with the public being 20%, 80% private. Combining the 3.3 million for the TIF, the 10,041,000 for the CID cap, that directly correlates to the $13.3 million that they are spending on public infrastructure, which includes the construction of a roundabout and then the street realignment reconfiguration. So we are getting a public benefit of the infrastructure. That is what the incentives are offsetting for Buc-ee's.
Thank you, because that was my next question, was what will they do with it? And so they will reconstruct that infrastructure.
Correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
Commissioner Burrows.
Thank you. And I think it's also important to be mindful that the amount of revenue, the sales tax that will be generated is not being generated there now. And so the new customers that'll come into Buc-ee's to enjoy the what I call our leisure-tainment area, which is known as the Legends, the Hollywood Casino, the Kansas Motor Speedway. When they stop in to buy fuel or spend their dollars, they will also spend dollars within the adjoining area in most cases. But that is not revenue that we're receiving presently, and we're going to see an increase in revenue due to the fact that this is an investment. The TIF that was stated forward in the CID, those are used, they can go up to 22 years if I remember correctly. But to only be requesting 15, I believe they're even being somewhat conservative in that, just to show that the dollars make it. It will be a draw that will bring additional dollars in. We will generate revenue, and the $3 million investment is going to be paid by others. Very few of us will be going to Buc-ee's ourselves in our community. We may go once or twice as the novelty soon wears off, but it will be a national attraction off I-70 and 110th Street that will bring people to our entertainment corridor to spend their money. They will build that infrastructure through the 1 cent sales tax on the CID and the TIF investment that is made. And if I remember correctly, it's $1 for $1 on the TIF, which means they don't get anything till they spend money.
Correct. That's correct.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Davis.
Thank you, Mayor, and Ms. Chisholm, and appreciate Commissioner Bynum's line of questioning and Commissioner Burrows' statement. Currently, how much is this property generating in property tax revenue and sales tax revenue?
I would have to research that on the property tax, although a portion of that was purchased from the Speedway, which is still currently under a property tax abatement. So we would see an increase. And I do just want to clarify, they will pay full property taxes. There are no sales taxes currently generated today at that site.
And I think that's important for folks to note that we are still standing to benefit substantially from this, even with the TIF. And there's a high likelihood, I bet, that they will pay this off earlier than before. And if there's no property tax abatement, that means they are also paying full property taxes. And so it is not as though Wyandotte County is going under for this project. We are actually seeing quite a benefit. And I think they're going to continue to be of benefit to our community, provide jobs, provide that sales tax, and provide a unique draw that adds to the amenities that we have in the Legends. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Lopez.
Yeah, I was just kind of looking at one location just to see what their annual sales tax revenue, and it looks like in 1 year in Colorado, 31.8 million in taxable sales. So let's just say they turned 30 million in 1 year here. How does that apply? Like, okay, so you say 50% of sales tax and 25%. So how, like, what would the county get off of that? Like, we break that down.
Well, I'm not going to attempt to do the rough math, but we have a 1% county sales tax. So 50% of that would be contributed towards the TIF. 50% of that would go into our coffers. Well, apologies, 25% would be contributed to the project. 75% of the county sales tax would go into our coffers. It's a 50-50 split on the city sales taxes.
And that's with the IRBs and with everything, IRBs, TIF, all that.
Correct.
Okay. But yeah, but property tax, that's a whole different, that's a different horse, a different color. They're paying full property tax.
Full property taxes. There's no property tax abatement. I know we will talk about the IRB here later in the meeting, but that is for sales tax exemption only.
And yeah, for construction goods, material, all that.
Correct.
Okay. I was just trying to do the quick math, but it's okay.
Their conservative projections estimate that they will reach their caps in 5 years or less.
Right. Now, that's not even talking about the employees, you know, from their paychecks and whatnot. Right? I mean, because that's a whole different.
Pardon?
Oh, never mind. Disregard.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Stites.
Stites, District 7. So I think it's some good questions that Commissioner Lopez asked. You know, what it does is right now there's zero sales tax dollars being generated, zero. I mean, so if this project's not there, we are collecting next year, zero, right? So 50% of the amount that it will be generated is a significant amount. So, but I think it should be noted that since we did ask for clarification as to what a TIP is, I think it would be a good idea to explain what a CID is. Maybe not all know that, you know, the 1% versus 2%, what you can collect, how many years, and what that exactly going for. I think you already said what it is, the infrastructure, the roundabout that we all see happening out there right now that's going on. But if you wouldn't mind explaining what a CID is.
Sure. So the Community Improvement District is an additional sales tax within the established district boundaries. In this case with Buc-ee's, it is a 1% sales tax that is added on. The statutes allow up to 2%. This commission's policy states 1% as their preference. And so under the CID statutes, that period can be up to 22 years, as Commissioner Burrows previously stated. This CID is 20 years. Again, $10 million CID cap, 1% sales tax, and it's, the breakdown. But yes, land, construction, and then machinery and equipment are portions of that.
Of the IRB.
Correct, sorry.
Yeah.
We're
right. No, I was clear. So so the 13.3 that will generate, that is actually going to go towards the road, the improvement that is out there right now, that also will realign or align with the entrance to the Hollywood Casino. So there'll be a roundabout put in place right there. So you'll have a roundabout there that they are fully funding, right? I mean, this CID is in addition to our sales tax number that we have now. They're charging a 1% on top of, for all the people that are driving up and down the highway and stopping in there and buying, we're collecting 1% off of them to pay for our infrastructure.
Correct.
That's what's happening. Not out of our general fund, where everybody that's traveling up and down the highway, east and west or wherever they come. Now, if we stop in there, obviously, we're going to pay 1% more until that infrastructure needs are paid off. But we are getting a huge benefit for the 1% CID. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Davis.
Thank you, Mayor. Ms. Chisholm, in regards to the BPU pilot, which this would be the commercial rate, not the rate that we've cut for residents. There are no incentives, none of that. Buc-ee's will be paying the full BPU pilot for this project. Is that correct?
Chelsea Chisholm, Economic Development Director. Commissioner Davis, that is absolutely accurate. There are no agreements with the BPU, so full utilities, sales taxes, pilot payments from the developer.
And again, I want the public to realize that that is, again, revenue that was non-existent on that field. And so I'm sure we can do the analysis and do the math on how much we're going to get in property taxes, how much we're going to get in sales tax, how much we're going to get in BPU pilot, and see what the deal that we're getting. It's quite substantial, and this is with a major developer that has proven success. And so wanted to make sure that the public was aware of that. Other question I want to ask, I think sometimes folks get confused by the number. We are not giving anyone $43 million. And so, Ms. Chisholm, can you provide just some context on how the incentive works when we put a number that is the capital investment?
Sure. So on the IRB application that's included in the agenda, the 43 million is comprised of the land acquisition, the construction costs, and the machinery and equipment costs. So all those three categories together equal to 43 million. I believe the total project cost is closer to $95 million. But those are the eligible expenses to run through the IRBs in order to get that sales tax exemption on during the construction period.
Gotcha. So we are not giving $43 million away. $43 million is the cost of the equipment and cost of the construction that the sales tax is exempted on. Is that correct?
That is correct. And then I will also add, with these bond issuances, it is the policy created by this commission of the community benefit ordinances that half of those issuance fees will be contributed to the community benefit ordinances. Without including this Buc-ee's issuance, we are on schedule to fully fund the CBO by the end of this year through bond issuances. So I do want to point out that our economic development projects contribute to that. There are 4 categories determined by the commission that are all great uses and needs for our community.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Ramirez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's amazing to hear that our CBO will be fully funded and we'll be able to start, or that board will be able to start using those funds for projects around our community. The CID, I know we're kind of jumping back and forth between all three. The CID is the 50-50, correct? Or is that the 75-25?
The tax increment financing district, typically we do the property taxes as part of that. So the sales tax TIF is a little unusual from our typical practice. So that is the one that has a 50% of the city sales tax and 25% of the county.
Okay. That's right. Okay. All right. And to kind of reiterate what Commissioner Stites was saying, that the work is already happening. Those improvements already happening. That 1% is to help us, but also you can see it in a way, pay back the developer for doing the work that they are currently doing to make those improvements. And so it's, again, yes, as Commissioner Burrows said, one of us or us, we may frequent it once or twice just to experience the Buc-ee's. But it's going to be people traveling across the country, across our community, who's going to be paying that 1% on that CID. So it pays for itself in the end. Thank you.
That's correct. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Lopez.
Yeah, so I do want to make a point real quick too. The location I looked up was 38.8 million in Colorado, and that is one of their smaller locations. A lot smaller than what they're going to be building here. It's about equivalent to the one in Tennessee. Also, I want to mention that I do know at least 20 people that live up here now will just take a day drive to Springfield just to go to Buc-ee's and come home in one day. So how many other people are doing that? And it's going to come from Nebraska. It's going to come from all around. I mean, just to take a day trip, a whole weekend, come down here for the whole weekend just to go to Buc-ee's alone, let alone then stay in our hotels, stay and then go shop at Cabela's and buy their hunting gear and maybe get a speeding ticket or something, you know, I don't know. But anyway, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. But I mean, it's, and then I'm gonna kind of go the other way a little bit too and say, okay, so what, is there any way that in the future that they decide, well, we want to change it up? Or is this written in stone is what I'm asking?
The incentives?
This whole, what we're talking about right now.
In order to modify a development agreement, which we currently have, it takes both parties to be willing to renegotiate the deal terms. So I don't anticipate that we would want to change them. We've negotiated a deal that we feel is beneficial for our community. So I don't anticipate that there would be any adjustments. And quite frankly, due to the projections of the sales tax generations and whatnot, we don't expect these incentives will be in place for a very long time. And to your very valid point, it's 4,000 to 5,000 visitors per day. This is the exact same footprint that they constructed in Springfield, 74,000 square feet, 120 gas pumps, 12 electric vehicle charging stations.
When I travel to South Carolina, I drive almost 75 miles out of my way to go to the location in Tennessee. And I've swung in there 3 o'clock in the morning and that place is still hopping. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Stites.
Stites District 7. Well, as somebody that lives 2 miles down the road, I will be one of those that frequent flyers that place. So I'll let you guys know when the Buc-ee's nuts and the barbecue and everything goes on sale, so you guys can swing by and spend your money. One thing that we didn't talk about real quick is the contribution or the amount of money that will go to the Bonner Springs Edwardsville School District, District 204. And I'm not asking for a number, but I know, because I don't want to put you on the spot regarding that, but that's a significant amount of money that's going to go to that school district also and help out Bonner Springs, Edwardsville. So I was debating on whether I was going to bring this up or not. Here's what some angst that people have is that this is brought up late in the game, right? They feel like it was like the incentives, you know, we had groundbreaking, we've already done a lot of things, and now here we are talking about approving certain incentives, right? I don't know the reason that occurred, but I would like for us to know that that is a hang up, you know, with me. I don't like it. I don't like being sprung on me late in the game, right? I'm supportive of the project. I just like for things to be earlier than later. Matter of fact, we had a meeting just earlier this evening, and I complimented staff in saying that what they brought to us early, right? So we can be out in front of it and be educated, and the public can get educated and ask their questions and contact their commissioners and ask questions regarding it. So I just wanted to make sure that I brought that up in that. If you have a response, I'm good with it. If not, or you can say, why it did happen or.
Well, I appreciate the feedback. We can certainly be more proactive in order to align all these items so we can run them parallel path. I will also say, though, we do discuss the incentives and the public-private partnership while we are bringing forth that development agreement. It is a lot of work to prepare the documentation and notices for public hearings, in addition to doing the development agreement. In a world in which the commission was not supportive of a development agreement, that really increases the investment that developers are making on the front end without some level of certainty. But I think we can find a balance.
Okay, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the answer and getting that put out there. And Mr. Mayor, whenever you're ready, I'm ready to make a motion.
I guess I just want to clear something up. These incentives were included in the development agreement. It's just getting around to the official instruments. So it was in the development agreement that was before you months ago. And so it was anticipated that these would be before you because it was included. And why it didn't happen immediately after a development agreement was done, did you remember the delay that they had to do breaking the ground, which started on October 1st? First, before that, it was September 1, and before that, it was a month before. They had other business stuff that didn't go as smoothly as possible in the land transaction and a survey and all that. They're not going to get all their financing work done till they're ready to commence the project. So we just had the groundbreaking a couple weeks ago, and now they're getting to finish up what was already agreed to by both parties in the development agreement. I just wanted to add that clarification.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that also. I think what had happened is as time goes on, right, you forget things. You forget. I mean, there's a lot of different things that that's happening here in Wyandotte County, and we have forgotten it. So I appreciate the explanation. And yes, I mean, I would have liked to seen the groundbreaking happen a lot earlier, but it didn't. I'm glad that we are where we're at right now. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Burrows.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I'd just like to state that there's a lot of positives with this, and we seem to get hung up on a few of the things. There's caps on the TIF and on the CID and on the IRB that once they're reached, there's no more money. That money comes to us directly. And that is a new 1.25% of new money coming in from sales tax that we presently don't have. And that's in the tens of millions of dollars as a projection. So those TIFs and CIDs will pay off early. The jobs that will be offered are high-paying jobs. There's a number of them that people in our community have cried out for good-paying jobs. These are jobs that can sustain a family in our community. I think that's of benefit. When we talk about the 120 gas pumps, there are no heavy trucks utilizing that infrastructure coming in to stay and environmentally impacting the tourist area. It is for cars only, which is a big benefit to our community. It's less damage to our infrastructure. The roadway, the roundabout, is being paid by the developer through the TIF. That roadway will lead into our new hotel that is proposed at the casino. So it's a partnership in the development. And then you also have the full property tax that is being paid on a facility that we don't know the value of it yet, but I'm sure after the first of the year, whatever improvements are on that ground will be on the tax rolls for the full year of next year. And then when it gets to full construction is completed, that full facility will be on the tax rolls. Those are dollars we're presently not receiving. So between the jobs and the wages for our residents, the roadway that is being improved by the developer leading to not only Buc-ee's and to the casino, but actually leading into the Legends itself. And a roundabout is a traffic control device. It slows traffic down without having to put a street light in. So that's one of the benefits. With 1.25 new sales tax revenue coming in to deal with a number of things we talked about here. I know my colleague was wanting to make a motion for approval, but if he'll be kind enough, I'll make the motion to approve it as presented for the TIF. And you want to do it? Do you want to do all three? We want to do them separately?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we approve the TIF, Mayor.
Second.
Before I do that, we have a couple other questions. Commissioner Lopez.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring up too, and I just want for clarification. So Buc-ee's, they closed on the ground. That's their property now. They bought that property, right?
Correct.
Okay, correct. Now, with the full BPU pilot, I would like to see, I mean, I know this is kind of jumping the gun here, but that would be awesome to maybe possibly give, relief to our residents on their pilots, and then the property taxes, everything, there would be relief finally on our residents' property taxes coming in. And I just hope this commission doesn't decide, in the future, hey, we're gonna give it away now. So that just seems to be a pattern. So anyway, that's what everything is rocking and rolling here. I love it. The money that they'll be turning, it just finally, hopefully this commission will finally decide, let's take care of our residents than the bigger boys that don't live here. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ramirez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Quick question, Ms. Chisholm, when the roundabout and the Buc-ee's is built and all that, who is to maintain the roundabout?
Chelsea Chisholm, Economic Development Director. So that was public infrastructure. So long-term maintenance would be on the Unified Government, but that is our typical process with development is, the developer's responsible for investing and paying for that infrastructure. And then we take long-term ownership and future maintenance.
Thank you.
Slide second.
Okay, well, hopefully that this discussion has provided a lot of clarity to those that may be watching, and as well as answered, hopefully to the satisfaction to some of those residents that came forward with questions that they posed in regards to this item. I believe that for me, the takeaway is that the benefit is insurmountable when you talk about what we're gaining in regards to comparison to what little we may be investing, and the potential for us to be getting tax dollars sooner as opposed to later is greatly enhanced here. I can definitely say just the information I've learned about the Buc-ee's project. This isn't one of those projects where the unified government in the past, individuals can say, we've given away the farm. I don't see that anywhere. I haven't heard that. Looking at the development agreement, it doesn't appear to be the case. It looks like it's going to be a win-win for Wyandotte County, for the state of Kansas. And I think long-term, I'm hopeful that it'll continue to solidify Village West as being the top tourist destination in the great state of Kansas that we all have come to enjoy. And so I'm looking forward and I'm excited. And there is a motion and a second. I will accept those. With no further discussion, clerk, roll call, please.
Roll call. Burns.
Aye.
Ramirez.
Aye.
Kane.
Aye.
Lopez.
Aye.
Stites. Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Burrows,
Aye.
Townsend.
Aye.
Vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
All right, this takes us to item 10.2, along the same topic for discussion involving Buc-ee's.
Motion to approve CID item 10.2.
Okay, well, I gotta have a public hearing, but I'll put those motions on standby. I'm gonna open up public comment again. Anyone wishing to have any comments whatsoever, for or against, you can come forward. You'll be getting up to 3 minutes. Okay, seeing none, clerk, any written submissions?
No comments have been received.
Okay. Anyone online, clerk, with their hands raised?
No hands are raised.
Okay, I'm going to close that public hearing. There's a motion, second, clerk, roll call.
Mayor, could we clarify who made motion in second, please?
I believe Commissioner Burrows? Commissioner Burrows?
Yes.
Okay, you want to restate your motion?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. I make a motion to approve the CID for Buc-ee's, the establishment of Community Improvement District, item 10.2.
Second, anywhere?
Stites.
Okay, got Commissioner Stites, clerk, that's second. Clerk, roll call.
Roll call. Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Kane,
Aye.
Lopez,
Aye.
Stites,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Burrows,
Aye.
Townsend.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
Okay, do you have a question from Commissioner Lopez?
It's not really a question, I just want to make a comment. I think we kind of overlooked something. Just to, Ms. Chisholm, you did a phenomenal job on this. And I just wanted to address that. You did your job and you're doing your job well. I just wanted to point that out. So thank you.
I think we all would agree with that. We are glad to have you as our Economic Development Director. You have done an awesome job. And I would mirror that. I've gone out in the community. I've gone to several events over in Kansas, Missouri, and your name has come up several times on your professionalism, your knowledge of the industry, and you doing all you can to make sure we get good economic development prospects here in Wyandotte County, in your words, that are going to be of benefit to the people of Wyandotte County. So thank you so much. One more thing. Okay, yes, the IRBs. Hold on.
Public hearing.
No.
No, we just voted on the TIF and then the CID, and then we have the industrial revenue models. IRB. You have to go through a public hearing on it too. No. Okay. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the resolution of intent to issue industrial bonds for Buc-ee's in the tune of $43 million, item 12.1.
Motion second. Clerk, roll call.
Roll call. Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Kane,
Aye.
Lopez,
Aye.
Stites, Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Burrows,
Aye.
Townsend.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
All right, there is no further business tonight. Thank you for bearing with us.
Motion
Let
to
it-
adjourn?
All right, there's a motion to adjourn and a second. Clerk, roll call.
Roll call. Burns,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Kane,
Aye.
Lopez,
Aye.
Stites, Davis,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Burrows,
Aye.
Townsend.
Aye.
The vote is 9-0. The motion carries.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening.